Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Not many live streams left, but welcome. Thank you for being here. And this is actually the final Saturday deadline stream of the season. We have what should be a Friday deadline stream in Gameweek 37, right? As the Nottingham Forest game's been moved. I haven't even checked that that's been moved, but yes, now the Villa Liverpool game moved to the Friday. And then on Game Week 38, of course, it's a Sunday deadline, as is always the case. So yeah, Saturday, Friday, Sunday for the final three deadlines of the season. But good morning, good to see you all. Of course, the legends, my mum and my nan in the chat, as always. Superstars. Hope you're having a good start to your Saturday. We have the main man, Zodiac. Thank you for being here as always, Zodiac. I appreciate you and your moderating skills too. Polkit, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Hi, Ross. Palace players are giving Shakespeare vibes this week. To be or not to be? Probably not to be, I would say, overall. Hello, Ross. Love from India. Big love to you in India. Thank you for being here. The man himself. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you all. Ross, what is my prize for finishing above you in the Influencer Mini League? A verbal well done. Are you actually going to finish above me, though? That's the real question. Probably not. Good morning, Claudette. Thank you for being here. Good morning, Wade. Immortal Technique. What a legend. Thank you as well. Good to see so many people. Chris, good to see you too. Yeah, let's just jump into it. Get your questions in. Hello, lad, from a Polish Scouser. Polish and a Scouser. Interesting. Didn't know it was possible. But it is, apparently. Morning, everyone. I forgot it was a 9 a.m. stream. Just made it. Thank you, Shazam. Appreciate you being here. Morning, Rosticles. Rosticles sounds a bit like the other word, but with Ross. So I'm not sure about that. I mean, I'll take it. I'm all for a cute nickname, you know? So yeah, this week will be interesting, man. I'm it's like one big last roll of the dice is kind of how I'm viewing this week overall. Like I've got Nico O'Reilly captain. I've got double Palace defense when a lot of other people will be avoiding. I've got Hinshelwood, who still remains a massive differential. I've got Morgan Rogers, who stinks up the gaff, but has Burnley. I've got Saka in place. Like, my team does look really nice for this week. It's one final roll of the dice, hoping I get a big score. And yeah, just fingers crossed that it's going to be a positive game week. If I can get like a 15 to 20 point green arrow, it's still on. I think if anything less than a 15, 20 point green arrow, then I just give up. Not give up, but like I don't try and push for top 100k. I think it's not feasible then. Obviously, the flip side to that is if you don't captain Erling Haaland in a double game week, you have the chance to have a really, really rough week. I just found out that number one in FPL is Danish. Yes. He's on X, the FPL study, isn't he? Yeah, he's Danish people are good at FPL, you know? I would say a lot of the best managers in the world come from like Finland, Norway, Sweden, Denmark. There must be something going on towards the top of Europe where people just are very good, you know? Less so in England. Bench boosting. Good luck this week. Good luck for anyone that has a chip active. Triple captain bench boost. Hopefully it goes well for you. We got the first super chat of the stream. Thank you very much. It says Wildcard 35 bench boost 36 1 free transfer. Okay. DCL or Thiago to Welbeck or roll for 2 free transfers. Flexibility in 37 into 38, e.g. Rice to Saka, rid of Palace injuries, punts. I think I'd go for it. I think I would go for it. You've only got 3 weeks left. Like, I understand what you're saying. It's nice to have flexibility, but I kind of feel like I would be thinking that more so if I had 6 weeks left. With only a few weeks left, like every game week now is 33% of your season. Considering this is your bench boost, it's your big chip, I would be tempted to do it. I'd probably sell DCL. Thiago's actually really nice for 37 and 38. Like, I'd be very happy to have Thiago for the final 2 weeks. He's got Crystal Palace and Liverpool, right? I think they're both pretty good fixtures. I'd say, Calvert-Lewin's fixtures are probably better than Thiago's, but Thiago's just a better asset, so I'd probably lean Calvert-Lewin to Welbeck. I think I would do it. I don't think it's a necessity, though. Like, if you fancied rolling the transfers, you absolutely could. Chris said, just had a great gym session. Already had your gym session on a Saturday. It's 9 a.m. What a legend. Now listening to the stream, then going down to Notts to see some old friends before heading to Wembley tomorrow. What a weekend. Up the Dale. Fair play, Chris. What a weekend that is. Busy. Jeremy says, hello, Ross. I've had a terrible season so far. Every single move who looks like the one to do seemed not to pay off yet. Sometimes happens. Do you think the season is different from usual and how so? I would say, personally, the way that this season feels different, obviously, DEFCON has had a big impact. Different players now have a higher floor. So, like, even if your team's not performing very well, as long as you have a few DEFCON guys, it's not normally a big red arrow. So a lot of people are just managing to hang on to their ranks. I would say that the additional transfers, like having 5 free transfers and topped up is massive. Having 2 sets of chips. Like, if you think about it, everyone that's sat here right now watching this stream, you're engaged FPL managers. We would normally have one up over on those that don't really know what they're doing because they'll play all of their chips in like game week 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now they get the second set for the second half of the season. So everyone has loads of chips to play for the blanks and doubles. And finally, I would just say that the reliable, predictable players just aren't performing. Like, think about Haaland for large spells this season has been actually quite poor. He had a really good start and then he's tailed off. Salah's not been at it. Bruno has been, but that's one player and he's not that expensive. Saka hasn't been really a viable option. Ollie Watkins hasn't. Alexander Isak hasn't. Like, outside of Bruno Fernandes, there hasn't been a single good premium, and obviously Haaland at points, but that consistency. And even, like, players that you would expect to be consistently good that haven't been. Let me try and give an example of that. It's like players, even like I would say maybe Morgan Rogers, but players where you would say, oh, they've got good minutes, they're good, reliable assets, the talismanic, even those have been a bit... I just think it's been a very unpredictable season, basically. Like... If I point to people that have done well, you've had like 17 pointers from Mukiele and like it's just random hauls here and there. Like you jumped on Foden for that random 4-game week spell where he just did incredibly well. It's not been a season, I don't think anyway, where it's just like reliable. I think you've either got really unlucky or really lucky for a lot of people, whereas normally there's a little bit of an in-between. Would be the way that I've interpreted it, but... I don't know. Maybe it's just that because I feel like I'm on the other end of it. That's the way I'm interpreting it. Timbo Slice says, hi, Egg. I'm chasing, okay? Considering ignoring Palace and rolling and using my 3 free transfers to do Senesi, Tavernier, Haaland to Gabriel, Saka, Gyökeres next week. Yeah, I don't mind that. I mean, if you've not got any Arsenal players, then yes, I wouldn't buy Palace. Like, you are absolutely going to want 3 Arsenal for Burnley at home. So if rolling gives you the 3 free transfers required to do it, then I'm all aboard for that. And I don't hate selling Erling Haaland for the final 2. Obviously, you don't want to sell Haaland this week. Could you do anything this week? I guess you need to sell Haaland to fund Senesi and Tavernier to Gabriel and Saka. Like, it would be nice to get an Arsenal player this week, to be honest. But if you can't afford Gabriel, then fair enough, Timbo. I think that's a nice plan. Start Tavernier or Thiago. Thanks for the content. I actually might say Thiago, you know. Tavernier just has dropped off. He's not first choice penalty taker now. His underlying data is a little bit weaker. Minutes are still good. He does still have multiple routes to points. But yeah, Tavernier's not everything that he was, at least promised a few months ago. So yeah, I think I would lean Thiago. Hello, 1 free transfer on bench boost. Want to transfer out Enzo, 1.7 million in the bank. Also need to chase. Would you go Enzo to Cunha, Rice, Sobo, or a cheeky Paulinho? Don't know about that. I would probably say Soboslai is maybe of most interest to me there. Yeah, I think Sobo. I'm assuming you've already got Eze. Eze could be of interest if you were chasing and wanted a player in ahead of Burnley at home. I still think Hinshelwood's a really nice pick if you're really chasing. I mean, you don't... He's very cheap, so you'd be freeing up more money. I would honestly say Hinshelwood or Sobersley would be my two recommendations. Buy Welbeck or Hinshelwood. I think they're both great. Depends who you're selling and where you'd rather change that spot. I don't think there's a massive amount to separate them. I mean, obviously, Welbeck's probably a slightly better asset given penalties, talismanic number 9. But Hinshelwood has been very good. Hey, Ross, can you name a top 3 to 5 of midfielder differentials chasing rank? At the moment, I've got Cherky, Saka, Rice, Palmer, Tavernier. Money's not an issue. Well, I just mentioned one, Hinshelwood. Tavernier to Hinshelwood would be very interesting. Palmer, you've already got Saka, you've already got Rice, you've already got Cherky. Honestly, I do like Sobo. You don't have Bruno Fernandes, but I assume if you're chasing, you therefore are not going to go and buy Bruno. Like, if that was my midfield, I would do Tavernier to Hinshelwood and Palmer to Bruno. Zodiac. I'm trying to think who else you could go for. I don't really think there are masses. I think a Brighton midfielder stands out to me in that midfield, honestly. And I would still like Bruno even if I was chasing, to be honest. Yeah, Casemiro, Bruno G. Good, two very nice shouts there, actually. Casemiro, I just don't know how sustainable. I know he's done it all season, but like, is he going to continue scoring headers? Maybe. He does get chances. Yeah, I like Bruno G. Hinshelwood probably is still my favourite Brighton midfielder, yeah, but I am a little bit biased. I own him, right? Shazam with a very generous super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. It's been good chatting to you all season, Shazam. I appreciate your support. Says, good morning, Ross. Wildcard 36. Oh, yes, of course. Right, I need to lock in. Wildcard 36, bench boost 37, 0.5. Team is Verbruggen, O'Reilly, Gabriel, Lacroix, Wilson, Saka, Bruno Fernandes, Cherky, Welbeck, and Haaland. Bench of Dubravka, DCL, Anderson, and Dewsbury Hall. Wow. Yeah, you've nailed that. You've really thought that through quite well, Shazam. Especially on bench boost 37, like Dewsbury Hall, great asset for 37. Anderson and Wilson, really nice for 37. You've got triple Brighton that also circle. Yeah, triple, double? Triple or double? Double Brighton, which serve you quite well for 36 and 37. I really like that team. Would I change anything? Would I switch anyone into the starting 11? No. But I would be very tempted to have Dewsbury Hall closer to the starting 11. Like, I would arguably have Dewsbury Hall first sub. Yeah. I mean, you could make an argument, actually, to start Dewsbury Hall instead of Wilson. But I don't think you have to do that, but you could certainly make an argument. So, other than just moving Dewsbury Hall closer to first sub, whether it be first sub or second sub, I think that's a really nice team. I've got no major concerns. Dubravka, though. Dubravka's the one if your bench boost 37, right? I would just go Darlow. It might be that you've got Darlow anyway and you just had a typo for Dubravka, but I don't think Dubravka makes sense considering he's got Arsenal in 37. I would just go Darlow. You could also pick someone like... Who else could you go for? Who does Sunderland have on the final day? I think Darlow's probably the most sensible. But yeah, really nice team, Shazam. Could also do Pedro to Welbeck. What should be the first priority? I think Tavernier to Hinshelwood's pretty fun. I think Welbeck is a really nice option, though. Like, if you're not that keen on João Pedro, I just think João Pedro is still a really good player and a really good asset. Would you play Enzo over Senesi? Probably not, to be honest. Probably not. Ross, Richarlison or Welbeck for Bowen? I think Welbeck. Is Ben White worth a punt or safe with Van Hecker? He might be worth the punt. I just want to give it one more week. So I might punt on Ben White in 37, to be fair, but... If I was choosing this week, I'd probably just go Kadioglu or Van Hecker. Polkit has been a member for 51 months. That is just ridiculous. Hello, Ross. Hello, Polkit. Thank you for your support for 51 months. Oh, right. I've got your team. 5 free transfers, 22 points off the top 100k. Okay, let's lock in them. Defense is great. Midfield, good. And then Welbeck and Erling. Okay, perfect. So I think I would be interested in Tavernier to Hinshelwood to bench one of your Bournemouth defenders. And then maybe Palmer to Saka. So something like Tavernier to Hinshelwood, bench Hall, and then do Palmer to Saka. I think that's okay. I don't think you need to use all of them. The other transfer you could consider is, of course, Semenyo to Cherky, but I don't think you have to do that if you don't fancy it. So those are my 3. You can make all of them, none of them, one of them, 2 of them. whatever you fancy. You're more than welcome, Shazam. Van Hecker or Munoz? Chasing heavily. If you're chasing heavily, maybe go Munoz. And just hope that he starts both and goes big. By the way, guys, if you are watching now, you're one of the real ones. Could I just please ask you to drop a like on the stream? It really helps to just spread it out. And make sure to consider subscribing as well, if you haven't already. But mainly, smash that like button nice and early for me, please. Please. Thanks a lot, Ross. 51 months of pure joy. You're always so positive, Polkit. I really appreciate and respect that. I like positive people. Hello, Ross. Hope you are well. I'm well, thank you, my friend. Would you start Bowen, Thiago, Virgil, or Soboslai? Oof, yeah. Do you know what? That is one of those decisions where it's a bit like, I don't know. They've all got slightly tricky fixtures. They've all got good things, bad things. I'd probably go Sobo there if you're only starting one of those. If you have to bench one of those, I'd honestly bench Bowen. Like, Arsenal's defence is so elite. But yeah, I think Sobo, if it's start 1 and bench the other 3. Morning, Ross. I've only got triple captain left. Which game would you play it on? And this week. This is the only remaining double game week of the season. If you've got your triple captain, just keep it simple. Triple captain Haaland. Nice and easy. Do it this week. Get it done. The only reason I wouldn't triple captain this week is if you've got the bench boost as well and you want to play that. But if you've just got the triple captain, it makes no sense to hold it. I suppose you could look to play it on an Arsenal asset next week against Burnley at home, but I'd rather 2 chances. Always. Wherever I can. Thoughts on my triple Arsenal defence, Gabriel, Saliba, Raya? Yeah, I like it, Ollie. I think that'll work well. Lots of other people will be trying to risk it with attackers, but Arsenal will almost definitely keep a clean sheet against Burnley, so you've just got 18 points immediately there, you know? Who do you think starts if Sesko is injured? I do wonder slightly about Mason Mount, but realistically, it's just probably Ahmad and Burmo Cunha as the front 3. But yeah, Money Mace could be an option, potentially, if he's fit enough to start. I suppose Dorgu. I don't know, just Dorgu, I'm not sure is quite there. Right? Is he fit enough to start? I'm not sure. Maybe Dorgu on the left wing. Cunha is the 9 and then Mbemo on the right is possible. I just prefer Cunha off the left, to be honest. So I'm not sure. Maybe it will just be Cunha, Ahmad, Mbemo. Sorry for sniffling, by the way. Apparently I've got a bit of a sniffle. Eze to Saka? Don't think so, no. At least not this week, I wouldn't. Triple captain Cherky chasing. I mean, if you are really, really, really chasing, then yeah, I would triple captain Cherky or O'Reilly. But the thing is with triple captain, you are still going to gain a fair bit if you triple captain Haaland. Like, let's say Haaland gets a 17-pointer this game week, which he could get more, by the way. Let's even say it's 20 points. Or let's say 22, he gets a 13-pointer and a 9-pointer. You would probably gain 20 of those points on triple captain. Because yes, a lot of people own and a lot of people captain and some will triple captain, but he's not going to be more than about 210% owned. So you're going to gain like 90% of Haaland's points. I don't know, if I was on triple captain this week, I probably would just triple captain Haaland. And I know that seems weird because I'm not even captaining him, but I can't gain by just captaining Haaland, so I might as well look elsewhere. Is Gyökeres worth getting in for a -4? Probably not for a -4, but I do like him and I might buy him next week, potentially. Would you bench boost with your team? With my team? No, that's a horror bench. But I'd bench boost next week if I had this team. Like next week, my bench looks quite a bit stronger. So I think that makes the most sense. Bench boost or triple captain? If your bench looks really, 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 really good, bench boost this week, triple captain an Arsenal player next week. But for most people, I'd probably say triple captain this week and just try and get a decent bench boost in 37. Are Liverpool assets a sell? I don't think so. It depends which ones, though. Like Virgil van Dijk, Szoboszlai, fine. I guess Gakpo's okay. Probably wouldn't be desperate to hold on to like an Isak. Florian Wirtz is a bit hit and miss at the moment. I think Szoboszlai and Van Dijk are the two that I'd want to hold on to. Although Van Dijk I wouldn't mind selling, to be honest. Szoboszlai I think is a really nice option still. He's playing very well. Has been all season. Are you bench boosting, Ross? No, I bench boosted in earlier on in the season. I don't have any chips left now. So no triple captain, no bench boost for me. And again, even if I did have the bench boost, I wouldn't be bench boosting this week. Can I actually have a look at my what my bench would look like next week? If I do something like Rodgers to Eze, which I might not, the bench is probably going to look like that, which is then triple Leeds against Brighton at home rather than Spurs away, which I honestly do slightly prefer. And then it would be Lacroix against Brentford away rather than Thiago against Man City away. So I guess it's not that much better, but I think it is enough, you know? Obviously depends what transfers I end up making. You could even make an argument, by the way, that I should flip those. Something like that. But yeah, it's I think it is a marginally better bench than 37. Leeds are just better at Ellen Road. Wildcard 35, bench boost 36. 257k rank with 3 free transfers. Okay. Think I need to sell Okafor and Anderson, likely to Hinchwood and Casemiro KDH. Thoughts, Vamos the Egg. Love it. I would go KDH and Hinchwood. I do like Casemiro though. So I definitely think Hinchwood. Casemiro, Dewsbury Hall's tough. I think Dewsbury Hall's such a good footballer. I really like Dewsbury. I'd go Dewsbury Hall. Buy one of Gabriel Saka Palace defence. Gabriel. Please start 2 out of 3. Wilson, Thiago, João Pedro. I would bench Thiago. I'd start Wilson and João Pedro. Sam says, Eze/Gyökeres/Osula. Saka in 2. Well, you can buy one of those 3. I would lean towards Victor Gyökeres. Penalties, playing well. Yep, I think that's a nice plan, Avid. I like Cherky and O'Reilly coming in. Are you going to captain Saka next game week? As long as I predict him to get good minutes, yes, I'll be captaining Saka next week. If I don't, then I'll look at either Gabriel, who I think will be the most popular captain, or Gyökeres. The thing is, if I don't buy a second Arsenal defender, I don't really want Gabriel to do that well because I don't want Arsenal to keep a clean sheet. But the other option, call me crazy, is to do Munoz to Ben White next week and captain Ben White. It's just a bit like if I want to go like fully crazy because I think he'll start again. Could be Mosquera. But yeah, Ben White could be a really nice option. And then that does give me double defense. It still gives me Saka and Gabriel, who are the 2 best Arsenal assets. But it gives me a more differential third option. I suppose I could just do something completely crazy, like if I think Trossard starts, like Captain Trossard, you know, like something stupid. But I think most likely I'll be buying White, Eze, or Gyökeres in game week 37. The only issue I have if I want to buy Victor Gyökeres is I'm not selling Thiago. I just don't want to sell Thiago. So it would be Calvert-Lewin to Victor Gyökeres. And then the only way that I can fund that is obviously Rodgers down. This is next week, of course. But then I can only afford a 4.5 million asset, which just isn't great. Like if I sort by 4.5 million assets, total points. Papa Sarr, but he's not playing right now. King, but he doesn't start. Baleba starts, but's a bit rubbish. Or he's at least started the last two. Baleba might be the one. At least he gets a decent number of DEFCONs. Devaney, if I think he might get minutes. Rio, I suppose, could be an option. If I think he could start. Adozie? No. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, basically, the only way to get Gyökeres is to sell Rodgers to a 4.5, which kind of just deads that spot. The thing is, though, I don't really need that spot. So maybe deading that spot isn't the worst idea if it allows me to get Victor Gyökeres in. So that's something to think about. But the other option, like I say, Palace defender, whether it be Lacroix or Munoz to Ben White next week, is possible. And then obviously Rodgers to Eze is also pretty easy. That's the most straightforward one. Because I'm going to want to sell Morgan Rodgers anyway next week. So just Rodgers to Eze there is nice. I could get Declan Rice, of course. It's just a little bit boring. Hello, Dr. Greek FPL. Would you take it to try bringing Saka to captain? In 37, maybe. Maybe. It really depends how much you want to captain him and how many minutes you think he plays. Let's see. There's a lot to happen before then, but it would be tempting. The good thing about Arsenal, by the way, if you've not seen, is they've got a 5-day break between Atletico and West Ham, right, which is great. But the more interesting thing is they've got an 8-day gap between West Ham and Burnley, right? And then they've got 6 days until the Sunderland game. The fact that they've got 8 days here, I just don't think Saka plays West Ham, because I'm sure he'll start West Ham. There's an 8-day break. There's no way they give Saka like 20, 30 minutes after having 8 days off. They need Saka to get back into match rhythm, match fitness. I would argue Saka might genuinely play close to 90 against Burnley, is my gut feeling right now. And then maybe gets 60 against Crystal Palace ahead of the final. I just don't see why you wouldn't try and build up his fitness across these 3 games. Obviously, they don't want to risk him, and there's that fine balance between keeping him fit and ready and then obviously risking an injury. But I just think Saka's minutes will be quite good now. I'd feel pretty confident buying Saka. Yeah, see, I disagree, Danny. I don't think you can say that he definitely won't get more than 60 mins. Because like I say, then you're not building up his fitness at all. If someone just repeatedly plays 60... that's not going to get them ready to play 90. At some point, they have to start playing more than 60 minutes. And the thing is, that Champions League final could go to 120 minutes, and they're going to want Saka on the pitch for as much of that as possible. I don't know, maybe I'm deluded. I just think Saka's minutes will be quite good. Hi, Ross. Bench boost active. Thiago and DCL for Gyökeres and Welbeck for a -4. Thiago and DCL for Gyökeres and Welbeck for a hit. I would be tempted if you're chasing Antonio. If you're trying to protect rank and you're happy with where you're at, I'd probably leave it. But if you're going for it, I think that's a really nice set of 2 moves. I would be tempted, yeah. Gay captain, chasing, and have Cherky, Haaland, Noah O'Reilly. I don't love Gay captain. I'd probably prefer Cherky captain if you're chasing. Cherky's not going to be as highly owned as people think. I reckon it'll be like 50 to 60% effective ownership, Cherky. A lot of people still have Semenyo and they just won't have the ability to move off. Hi, Ross. Top 100k, no chips for free transfers. Okay, perfect. I've got your team. What are you thinking? You're thinking Palmer, Pedro, Strauch, Semenyo to Saka, Gyökeres, Lacroix, Cherky. I love that. Love it. It gives you your 3 Arsenal for next week, APAC. So it means you don't have to worry about using a transfer next week. You can roll the transfer next week, have 2 free transfers, 38, getting aggressive, buying 2 doublers, buying 2 Arsenal. Perfect. Your team's going to look brilliant. I would be very surprised. I don't want to jinx it, but I'd be very surprised if you don't manage to hold on to top 100k. Can you make a free hit lineup, please? Honestly, I'm not trolling here. It would pretty much be my team, right? But I don't know if I'd have Munoz. I'd probably replace Munoz with Welbeck. And then it would basically be my team. Which is why I'm feeling happy this week. Because, like, maybe I wouldn't have Rodgers, actually. I'd maybe replace Rodgers with... Who's a midfielder that I like for this week? I'm jealous that other people have. I don't know. I'd maybe replace Rodgers with someone else. And I'd probably replace Munoz with Welbeck and play a 3-5-2. Other than that, I'd maybe Szoboszlai, Rodgers to Szoboszlai, Munoz to Welbeck kind of thing. And then that's basically a free hit team. Bench 3 of Anderson, Senesi, Krupi, Wilson, DCL, Van Dijk. Bench 3. I would bench Anderson. Van Dijk. Anderson, Van Dijk, Wilson. I would probably back Bournemouth right now. I'd just back Senesi and Krupi, and then I like DCL. I think he's decent. FPL Affairs says, okay, possible goalkeeper change. Bench boost 37. Have Dubravka and Kelleher. Hard 36. Replacement probably for Dubravka. Raya gives triple Arsenal defence. For Bruggen versus DCL and bench boost 37. Would be a -4, 36 or 37. Thoughts? Dubravka has Wolves in Gameweek 38, which I don't mind, by the way. I don't think it's worth a hit. You're not gaining a doubler. I don't like blocking the third Arsenal spot. I honestly would be tempted to leave it. I would play Dubravka this week. I guess you can decide again. I don't think it's worth doing this week, personally. I would leave it for now, and then you can make a decision next week, FPL Affairs. But I would lean towards saying that's not worth a hit. With only a few weeks left, it's very unlikely that you pay that back, I would say. Good morning, Ross. Start DCL or Verts? Oh, that's a tough one. I might still lean Florian Verts there, but I think that's pretty close. Probably just about Florian Verts. Got my triple captain and chasing in my mini league, Haaland or Nico. Depends how many points you're chasing, George. If you're chasing more than 30 points, I would go triple captain Nico O'Reilly. If you're less than 30 points, I would just triple captain Haaland. I really don't mind a triple captain on someone that isn't Erling Haaland. You can see my captaincy ranking top left corner of the screen. I think it is O'Reilly or Cherky for me. I wouldn't be particularly interested in anyone else. I think Nico O'Reilly, I just like with Nico O'Reilly that he does have clean sheet potential and assist threat and goal threat. Good for bonus points. Can get DEFCON, although it's pretty rare. Like, how many times has he had DEFCON this season? Can't have been many times. But, I don't know. I think he's a decent option. Has he hit DEFCON this season? Once. Yeah, he's hit DEFCON once. But what I would say about Nico O'Reilly, because I remember it happening, he's hit 9 twice. So there's 2. 3. 4. He's hit it 4 times and he's got 8. 5 times. So he's been 1 or 2 off like 7 or 8 times. So I don't think Nico O'Reilly will ever get DEFCON again this season, but it's not out of the question. So I just think basically Nico O'Reilly has slightly more routes to points than Ryan Cherky. I think he's got a slightly higher ceiling, but Ryan Cherky's a great asset. He's playing so incredibly well right now. The points are there for everyone to see. The output's there for everyone to see. It's very close. Niall says, hello, Ross. Current team is Raya, O'Reilly. Okay, I've got your team. Would you bench boost Darlow, Hinshaw, Justin, DCL? Yes, 100%. Yeah, definitely. Hinshaw alone would be enough of a reason for me to bench boost that. That's a really nice team. It's looking stacked. He got a great 11. I would bench boost that, Niall. It will also look decent next week, but I don't know that it will look that much better next week, you know? Brentford are very attacking. Maybe he could get DEFCON. What was the situation against Brentford earlier this season? Let's have a look. Did he play? He did, and got 5 DEFCON against Brentford earlier this season. He actually kept a clean sheet against Brentford earlier this season, which is pretty cool. And what did they do against Palace? City, this season, kept a clean sheet against Palace and Brentford. I didn't know that. I've only just seen that now. Yeah, clean sheets against both Brentford and Palace earlier this season. Interesting. They did concede 1.88 XG against Crystal Palace. Only 0.8 against Brentford. A clean sheet would be lovely. Just one would be fine. 1 clean sheet, 2 goals. Thank you, Nico O'Reilly. I'll take that. Bass, what a man. Hello. Hi, Legend. Hope you're well. Current team. Okay, got you. What do you think of Thiago to Geoguessr? Got 2.9 in the bank or Sobo to Saka? Thanks, Legend. You're more than welcome. I would wait on the Saka 1 week, I think, because I like Soboslai this week. I don't know why. I've just got a good feeling about him. Thiago to Geoguessr, I'd be tempted by. I can't remember, Bass, if you're chasing or not. If you're chasing, Thiago to Geoguessr is great. If you're protecting rank, I don't know that I would do that one either. But I probably just about prefer Thiago to Geoguessr if I was to only make one of them. Is that the confirmation bias we were looking for? Apparently so. Gross or Hinshelwood for Rodgers? I honestly prefer Hinshelwood, which is why I picked him, to be honest. Hi, Ross. Hinshelwood or Dewsbury Hall for the rest of the season? That's a lot closer. I still think Hinshelwood, but I think Dewsbury Hall, I really like in 37. Hi, Ross. Sorry, another question of Soboslai, Wilson, Bruno Fernandes, KDH, Cherky. Who to bench? Also, would you take a -4 hit to sell Bowen for Geoguessr? I think it's probably Wilson there if you had to bench one of them. And would I take a -4 hit to sell Bowen for Geoguessr? Probably not. I'll just bench Bowen, right? Yeah, I'd probably just bench Bowen. If selling Bowen gives you more of a benching headache, I just don't think it's worth the hit then at that stage, is it? Hello, Raptor. Unfortunately, work caught up and didn't do FPL for the last 2 weeks. Need to wildcard. I have 4 free transfers to have the bench boost. Advice? I would say with Crystal Palace, I'd probably pick 2 of them and just use 2 transfers next week to just get them straight back out. I mean, you've got 4 free transfers to use. You can have fun. My only advice, I would have Gabriel, Saka, and a 3rd Arsenal. Make sure you've got 3 Arsenal. I'd obviously have triple City. I'd have a couple of Brighton. I'd have... If you're building for a bench boost team in 37, I would have Dewsbury Hall, maybe Keane or Tarkovsky. I'd have a couple of Leeds. I would avoid Aston Villa. And then that's probably your team pretty much. But yeah, I think Everton, Leeds, Brighton, Brentford are probably the teams you should be looking at for your bench boost in 37. Is Doku a good pick? Not a bad pick. I think he's the 5th. No, I don't. I think he's the 6th best Man City asset for me. I would probably say it's Haaland, O'Reilly, Cherky. It's basically almost how I've ordered. Basically, how I've ordered captaincy top left of the screen. Like if I put captaincy back on, that's basically not only my captaincy ranking, but pretty much how I rank the Man City assets. I think Gay could arguably be just ahead of Doku in terms of ranking the City players, but I'm really fancying the triple captain on O'Reilly. I know you have him captain, but would you triple captain? If you fancy it, yeah, go for it. I mean, it's only 1 extra score, isn't it? There's not that much difference between captain and triple captain in terms of confidence levels. So yeah, if you fancy it, go for it. I'm not gonna talk you out of that at all. Do you think Tell is a solid option for minutes and attacking returns? I don't know about attacking returns, but I think his minutes right now do look pretty secure, yeah. I don't really follow Spurs' 11 enough, but I don't see who else they're playing right now particularly. Spurs fans, let us know in the comments if Tell isn't secure for minutes. João Pedro for Gyökeres for a hit. No, I wouldn't sell João Pedro for a hit. I do like Victor Gyökeres, but the thing is, we also need to see, is Havertz and Jesus ready to play significant minutes? Is O'Reilly not a minutes risk with players coming back? I suppose so, but the man's just been... Like, I would argue that he's been better than Shirky. I think he's their best player right now. He did get an early sub against Chelsea, but that was due to a slight knock, and then it's just 90-90, 90-90. Right? I think his minutes feel pretty good. This doesn't really feel like the time to be taking out Nico O'Reilly and experimenting with your team. He might get a couple of early subs, which I guess isn't the end of the world as long as it's post-60. I also just don't think Gvardiol is ready to start. I don't think Rodri is quite there right now. So, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe there is a chance, but I just don't see it. And unless the league gets wrapped up and then they want to rotate him. But, yeah. Yibbing says, good day, Ross. -4, Morgan Gibbs-White and Bowen to Saka and Sesko, or to Cunha and Gyökeres. Wouldn't buy Sesko this week. He's a bit of a doubt. I also wouldn't buy Cunha. I don't like Cunha or Sesko really as buys. Can you not do Saka and Gyökeres? I assume you've got a double up on Arsenal already. If you can just do Bowen to Gyökeres for now, that would be great. Yeah, maybe just Bowen to Gyökeres this week for free. And then bench Gibbs-White and start whoever else is on your bench. Do you think DCL is worse with Okafor out? Maybe. Okafor doesn't really strike me as a creative player, though. It's not like Okafor's creating loads for Calvert-Lewin. So I would probably say not that much weaker. Maybe more impetus on him to score goals even, potentially. Do you think City keep a clean sheet? I think City's defence is much better than people give them credit for. I think against Everton, they completely capitulated, right? So it was 2.77 XGC. But in other games, they've barely conceded chances at all. You know? Let's actually have a look. We can check their data. Do like last 6. And this is even, by the way. This is even with that 3xG. They won't be far from the top. Yeah, 1.3 XGC. And that's with that huge XG conceded against Everton. You take that out, and they're 4th. They're not a bad defence at all. Interestingly, Nottingham Forest right up there as well. But look, Arsenal aren't even that high up. So, I don't know. I don't think Man City are a bad defence is kind of what I'm saying here. I'm not saying that I expect clean sheets, but I think it's certainly possible to get one in the double. Jason says, hello, Ross. Hope you've had a good week. I have, thank you, my friend. I need to bench one of Van Hecke, Tavernier, or João Pedro. I have Verbruggen, so a bit on the fence on having double Brighton defence. I just don't think you can bench Van Hecke. I would start Van Hecke ahead of both of those. I just think the clean sheet chance for him is going to be higher than the chance of João Pedro or Tavernier scoring. But if you want to spread the risk, I think I'd have João Pedro ahead of Tavernier. Playing a 4-5-1, so should I play Strauch or JP? I would play JP ahead of Strauch, personally. Form is such a big conversation at the moment, but league position is influential. In other words, I'd still target Wolves and Burnley, but I'd expect West Ham and Spurs to shore up. Yeah, possibly. But the thing is with West Ham and Spurs, if West Ham go 1-0 down early, they have to chase. Do you know what I mean? Like, they can't really afford not to. Whereas if Burnley go 1-0 down, they might just think, you know what, let's not have this embarrassing. Let's just shore up. Like, West Ham need to win. So if Arsenal score early, West Ham are going to have to come out and attack. That's the other way of looking at it. How serious are you on O'Reilly captain? I'm captaining O'Reilly, yeah. I don't know if the serious is the correct word, but I am going to do that. Double Palace defense when the manager is talking about resting players. Yep. I think West Ham score. I hope so. Arsenal's defence is so highly owned that it would actually help me if West Ham score. I've only got Gabriel, so Gabriel's like 90% EO, and then a lot of people have a Saliba or a Raya. Thoughts on Watkins? Gut instinct tells me that Watkins is benched this week. I don't think it's a definite dead cert, but I certainly wouldn't be buying Watkins. If you own him, you could keep him and just hope that he does start. Is Sesko definitely injured? No. Not definitely. To those still asking, absolutely, if you've still got the triple captain, this is the week to play it. I would probably just play it on Haaland unless you fancy a punt on someone else. Any opinion on the introduction of Ofcon? Yeah, I think it's starting to get a bit gimmicky at this stage. The whole point of DEFCON was so that it made more defensive assets more desirable. Like attacking assets already get goals and assists. I think all they need to do, really, is either scrap DEFCON, which I don't think they will, or just price the defensive players higher. So Hill and Senesi next season should be 5.5. Kadioglu should be 4.5. Make Kadioglu 1 million cheaper than Van Hecke and Hill and Senesi. Because then at that stage you say, yeah, he doesn't get DEFCON, but I might be willing to pay £1 million less in the hope that he gets some assists and goals. Do you see what I mean? Like, they need to actually just flip the pricing. Like, Elliot Anderson should be 7.5 or 7. He shouldn't be down at 5 million or 5.5 million. You need to price the DEFCON maniacs higher than the attacking players for the most part. Obviously, I'm not saying that Elliot Anderson should be the same price as Erling Haaland, but you know what I mean? Who's another good example? Like, if Casemiro were to stay in the Prem, Casemiro should be the same price, if not slightly more than Mateus Cunha. Because he's got a bit of attacking threat, but his DEFCON is through the roof. Make us not want to pick the DEFCON players, but it still be viable. Obviously, you don't want to go so far the other way, where the DEFCON guys are so highly priced, but there is a fine line there somewhere. Kwekua, I've got your team. Start any bench. Would I start Bowen, KDH, or Thiago instead of anyone else in that team? I would probably start Dewsbury Hall instead of Anderson or Chow. Other than that, I think you got it spot on. Yeah, Dewsbury Hall ahead of Anderson or Chow, and then leave it there probably. Especially as you don't even have any Palace defence. So it's not even like there's a bit of a conflict of interest there. You would just like Everton to score, really. Elliot Anderson is highly likely to be at City next season. I mean, even more reason to price him highly then. I still think he'll get DEFCON, but it will be playing in a team where he can get more returns. How sure are we of Eze's mins? Not that sure. Not that sure. I'm certainly more worried about Eze's mins than I am Saka and Gyökeres right now. So maybe avoid Eze. Maybe just go Hinshelwood. Sell JP or Bowen for Gyökeres or Rodgers for Saka. I would go Bowen to Gyökeres. Sounds decent to me. Dimitri says, my bench boost is Raya, DCL, Bogle, Eze. I have 1.5 million in the bank and 1 free transfer. Would you recommend any moves? DCL to Welbeck would tempt me, but otherwise I think you're good to go. That's the only one that I think could tempt me a little bit. A couple of people asking about Anthony Gordon. I am a content creator that likes to just say, I don't know if I don't know, and the answer is I don't know to that, sorry. I could make up an answer and pretend that I get 60 minutes, but I don't know. I would just be randomly plucking a number from thin air. If you need him to start this week, maybe just sell. But I think obviously there's a greater chance than last week. So it's up to you. Depends what your bench cover's like. Depends how much risk you want to take. There's only 3 weeks left right now. So you really need to ideally not be having too many players where you're not sure if they're going to start and get good minutes, basically. Josh says, hi Ross, 3 free transfers, no Palace. Thoughts on Semenyo to Cherky, Scott to Hinshelwood, Palmer to Saka. Means playing Hill and blocking myself from Gyökeres. I think that's fine, though. Cherky's great, Hinshelwood's great, Saka's great. You don't need Gyökeres. And I like Hill this week. I think I'd make those moves, Josh. I like them. Bench one of Van Hecke, Hinshelwood, João Pedro. I'd probably João Pedro from those 3. When to bench boost? I wildcarded last week with the same bench as you, but not too keen on it now. To be fair, I did just look at my bench for next week, and it didn't look that great. So maybe you do just go now. Like, in my head, my bench for next week looked fantastic, but it was something like that. So you've got triple leads against Brighton versus triple leads against Spurs. And then someone like Lacroix instead of Thiago. I'd be tempted to go now. And to make it better, if you wanted to, you could just do Thiago to Welbeck. Or something like that, and then it looks a lot better, of course. FPL Rohits says, hello Ross, 1 free transfer. Do Rodgers to Saka or roll? I would do that next week. Or get Saka next week. Leaning towards rolling, but need reaffirmation. Yeah, I would 100% say next week. The thing is, Rodgers could be benched this week. He's not been very good. All of this, blah, 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 blah. Rodgers is a troll. He loves a booking. He is a bit useless. But he's also playing Burnley. So if he does start, you'd make an argument that he's just as good, if not even maybe slightly better than Saka this week. So... And also, it might be that you don't want to buy Saka. Let's say Saka only gets 45 minutes and limps off, then you might go to Eze instead. So I would keep Rodgers. What rank are you chasing right now? I would still like to finish top 100k, but I'm 43 points off, which is why I'm captaining Nico O'Reilly. It's why I picked Hinshelwood instead of Gross. It's why I have double Palace defense. It's why I went early on Saka. I'm really trying to go for it. This team doesn't look as differential now, but when I made it, Hinshelwood was hugely differential. Saka was 2% owned last week, by the way. No one's really desperately loading up on Crystal Palace. So it is still differential enough. And obviously, captaincy being on Nico O'Reilly, it has the potential to go big, this team. Like, people might not like my decisions, but you can't say that this doesn't have a high ceiling, this team right now. So that's the hope. But it has also the opposite. Again, if Erling Haaland scores 4 or 5 goals in this double, season's done. But that's fine. For me, if my rank at the end of the season is 350k or 190k, I've not achieved where I wanted to anyway. And to be honest, the whole point of FPL, is rank, but it's also to try and enjoy it. So I think I would kick myself... Let me put it this way. I would kick myself more if Nico O'Reilly went huge and Haaland blanked and I didn't captain O'Reilly and I captained Haaland because I was scared. I would kick myself more if O'Reilly goes big than if Haaland goes big. So I know, therefore, that I should be captaining Nico O'Reilly. Because at the end of the season, I want to say I went for it. At least I went for it, you know? Imagine I finished the season 140k and I captained Haaland this week and Nico O'Reilly outscored him. People would say, Ross, imagine if you'd have just captained Nico O'Reilly, you know? So that's where I'm at with it. But I don't think you should necessarily follow that train of thought. That's just my train of thought right now. Same team as you, bench boost, triple captain, when to use the other chip. I would triple captain Haaland this week and bench boost next week. I have the same team as you, except Saka and Justin for Okafor Saliba. A few questions. 1, bench boost this week or next? Probably this week. 2, sorry, 1 free transfer. 2, if bench boost now got 5.8 million, who for Okafor? I still think you could buy... You've got the same team as me, so you've got Hinshelwood. I would bench boost... yeah, because if you bench boost now, you have to sell... Who could you buy this week that's interesting? suppose you could just buy another... Or just Dewsbury Hall. Maybe Okafor to Dewsbury Hall and bench boost. Yeah, Okafor to Dewsbury Hall and bench boost would be interesting to me, I think. You could also then just bench boost next week. But I think Dewsbury Hall was probably the one for 5.8 million to replace Okafor. What's the worst that could happen with O'Reilly triple captain? It could be bad. It could be this, right? Back-to-back one-pointers. If City concede a lot of goals, he doesn't defcon and he doesn't get an attacking return. O'Reilly could get 2 points. Haaland's going to score a goal at least. So Haaland's going to probably get a minimum of 11. 10 to 11, you'd say, for Haaland. Out of the top 100k, but the biggest guns in FPL. I don't know about that. I wouldn't say that. But thank you. Start one of DCL Tavernier Hill. Senesi starts. I'd honestly start Hill, I think. Agniba says, good morning, Ross. Team. Okay, I've got your team, Agniba. Want to avoid Palace totally. Suggestions. 2 free transfers, 1.3 million in the bank. Enzo to Hinshelwood. I like. Or Roll. I think that's it. Or DCL to Welbeck. I would say Enzo to Hinshelwood or DCL to Welbeck, or both. I think they're the interesting moves, is buying a Brighton attacker. If Everton score, the Palace double defence ceiling is in the basement. You could say that about literally any player. If West Ham score, the double Arsenal defence ceiling is in the basement. If Saka blanks, his ceiling's in the basement. You see what I mean? You can say that about literally anyone. If this person doesn't do well, then they're not going to do well. Bench boost with Strauch, DCL, or Thiago. Sorry, bench boost with Strauch. I see what you mean. Like, it's because he's a doubt. I don't know the answer to that. It's like whenever someone says, can I bench boost with a player that's a risk? It's like, eh. Also, DCL or Thiago to Welbs. I would rather sell DCL. I wonder, could you just do DCL to Welbs and bench boost next week? Do you have to bench boost this week? And then it gives you an extra week to make sure that Strauch's okay. I have Isak. Is he playing? Do I bring in Welbeck or Mateta instead? Arne Slot was kind of a bit coy with Isak, but I wouldn't be feeling that confident. I think Isak to Welbeck's a nice transfer. I'm taking a risk and getting Rio in. Surely he starts the last 3 games. I wouldn't be sure on that, but good luck with it. You can't say surely a player starts 3 games in a row when they've never done that before, I don't think, as far as I'm aware. Kids0R says, I have Hill, Senesi, O'Reilly, and Van Hecker. Bring Gabriel in, but instead of who, or play a back lineup of 5, transfer out Strauch from the bench, but this means Gross misses out. Kudos for everything. Thank you for the support. I wouldn't bench Gross this week, so that would probably rule that out. I think probably Hill for Gabriel. I think you do want to buy Gabriel. And you've already got Senesi. So if Bournemouth do clean, it's not the end of the world that you've sold Hill. As long as he doesn't score, of course. I would say Hill to Gabriel probably makes the most sense there. Or, no, actually, tell a lie. You could just do Strauch to Gabriel and bench Hill. That probably makes more sense. Yeah, Strauch to Hill. Sorry, Strauch to Gabriel, bench Hill, and start Gabriel on a 4 at the back. Thanks, FPL says, hello, Raptor. Thanks. Living up to the name. So, wildcard draft. And you've got 1.1 million left in the bank. Okay, what would I change about this? Verbruggen, Darlow. Good for bench boost. Yeah, Gabriel, O'Reilly, Lacroix, Anderson, Rodon, Dango, Bruno, Hinshelwood, Cherky, Rice, Haaland, Thiago, Calvert-Lewin. I'd be tempted by Welbeck instead of Calvert-Lewin. And I would be tempted to have Dewsbury Hall somewhere. But other than that, looks good. Actually, you've only got 2 Arsenal, haven't you? I would want Saka. Okay, there are a couple of bits I would change. I would like Welbeck for Calvert-Lewin. I'd like to try and squeeze Saka into that team somehow, but I don't know how you free up the funds because you've only got 1.1 million. I'd assume your team value is not great. I'm trying to work out where your money is right now. But getting Rice to Saka would be huge if there's a way to do that. And I like Dewsbury Hall. But they're just a few things to think about over the next hour. None of those things are essential by any means. It's a nice team. Let's talk Palace. Is that the official, Luke? Can I look? Go to channel. Yeah, it is. Okay. Is it? Yeah, it is. Good. Wanted to make sure this wasn't another Let's Talk Palace. Good to see you, Luke. Says Tavernier and Thiago to Dewsbury Hall and Welbs. It's an aggressive move, but I like it. I mean, I don't mind Thiago, keeping Thiago. I think next week, he plays against your boys. Having no Thiago for that game might be a bit painful. But they're such nice moves. I would still be happy to do those, Luke. Zodiac says, I just started Old Boys Football 40 plus. Gonna play my first match in 2 hours. Zodiac, how old are you? Sorry to ask such a direct question. I thought you were like late 20s. Are you in your... How old are you? This is the thing, like, you just don't know these things about... Like, sometimes you'll interact with people over things, and like, I'll be speaking to someone for ages, and they're like, oh, I'm actually 55 and live in Australia, and I thought they were like from the UK and like 32. You used to just chat to people online. It's crazy. You are 40 on the dot. Okay. I was gonna say if you were gonna tell me that you were much older than that, I would have been surprised because I don't know, just the way you interact and speak. I think you don't sound like you're in your 40s. To be fair. Nick says rate my bench boost 1 free transfer 0.7 in the bank chasing. Raya Verbruggen, O'Reilly Munoz, Lacroix Gabriel, Saliba Wilson, Rogers Sarr, Bruno Fernandes, Cherky Richarlison, Haaland Welbeck. I'd give that a 9.5. I'm going to estimate that you will get a 25 to 30 point green arrow. What's the latest on Munoz? I saw Pickle posting about worries on X. Was it just like rotation worries? I think he's fine, right? I can check what she posted. I don't know what she posted, but I think Munoz will start. I think Munoz will start both, to be honest. That's my current prediction. Luke, in the chat, please, if you're still here. Do you think Munoz starts both now after Glasner's comments? I don't know why I feel more positive after what Glasner said about wanting to win the Everton game. I think Munoz could start both. And he also listed players that looked tired and didn't list Munoz. So, I don't know. I feel slightly more positive on Munoz now. I wouldn't buy him still probably, but if you own him, start one of Thiago Wilson and Jai or Pedro Porro. I would probably start Iliman and Jai. Oh, wow. Why are you only starting one of those? What is your team, Matthew? How is your team that stacked? Maybe Pedro Porro, actually, from those options. That you must have the best team in FPL to have a bench out of where you're having to start only one of those. No, I don't have any chips left for those, ask him. No Man City or Crystal Palace players, which 6 in order to bring in? No Man City or Palace. Haaland, O'Reilly, Cherky. And then Lacroix would be the next. But just bring in your 3. O'Reilly, Cherky, Haaland, the 3 that I've got here. They're the 3 best City assets. Emma Chuckster says, hello. Love how you're claiming you're having a terrible season. Meanwhile, I'm stuck at around 1.3 million. Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, it's comparative, right? I spend 60 plus hours a week either creating content or replying to comments, giving advice. Like, it's basically my full-time job is to be good at FPL. So for me, it's a bad season, but I know for a lot of people, they'd be happy with the rank. Anyway, my bench boost. Roofs, Gabriel, O'Reilly, Lacroix, Cherky, Bruno, Rogers, Wilson, Haaland, Welbeck, Bowen, Dubravka, KDH, Alderete, Hill. Yeah, that's a lovely team, a good bench boost. I don't love Jared Bowen, but the thing is, he could absolutely score against Arsenal. And if West Ham do score, you'd imagine it is Jared Bowen. And he's on penalties now. So you could absolutely just keep Bowen in that spot there. I don't have an issue with it. And because you've got Welbeck up, there's not really anyone I'd desperately move to. So yeah, I like that a lot. I would probably switch KDH and Bowen. Not that it matters because you're on bench boost, but in my mind, like, I'd rather have Dewsbury Hall than Bowen this week, basically. But yeah, it's a nice team. I would hope, mate, that you get a green arrow to about 1 million. Hopefully you can break into the top 1 million. Free hit or Haaland triple cap. I have no Palace players and only Gabriel from Arsenal and 3 City players. I don't think you need Palace. I would honestly go triple captain Haaland. And then I would free hit next week, get your triple Arsenal, or just free hit in 38. But I think probably triple captain this week, free hit next week. And then you can own whichever 3 Arsenal you want for Burnley. You can get really aggressive with it. Is there any gain in captaining Haaland, or is it pure protection play? So Haaland will be 200+% owned, which means because everyone owns Haaland and because everyone captains Haaland and a lot of people triple captain Haaland, I think for most people, unless you're at a really low rank, anyone inside the top 250, 300k, maybe even top 500k, if you captain Haaland, you will still want him to blank. It's difficult to wrap your head around at first because like when I first started playing FPL, I couldn't understand how that would work. But like I say, because everyone owns captains and there will be triple captains in play, even if you captain Haaland, you're probably going to want him to blank. At the very, very, very best case scenario, he'll be about 180% owned, which means you'll gain like 10 to 20% of Haaland's points. So if you are trying to gain on those around you, captaining Haaland will gain you nothing. But it will protect you from getting battered as well, is the other thing. You've got to have a very like specific risk tolerance to not captain Haaland. I've not captained Haaland in quite a few weeks, right? I didn't captain Haaland last week. In 34, Haaland blanked, didn't he? In 33, I captained Palmer. Didn't captain Haaland. Didn't go very well for me. In 32, I didn't own Haaland. I captained Bruno. When was the last time I captained Haaland? Oh my God, when was the last time I captained Haaland? That's insane. Has it been that long? Okay, Game Week 27 was the last time I captained Haaland. So for anyone that's worried about me not wanting to do it or go through with it, bloody hell, I didn't realise it'd been that long since I captained Erling Haaland. I don't know, like, I think since this point I've been chasing and I've just hoped that might be a way to ship me up the ranks, but it doesn't always go well. Like you've got to have a specific risk tolerance to go against a highly owned captain, which I have. I'm happy to be different, you know, for better or for worse. I'm happy to be different. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. By the way, Sushan has just received a gifted membership from Vidata Garwow. Sorry if I've just absolutely destroyed your name, but thank you for gifting the membership. And well done for getting it as well. Bench boost 36. Munoz and DCL to Welbeck. Worth it to save Thiago. What's Munoz got to do with it? Or are you just saying you've got Munoz on the bench boost, Burrows? I'm not really sure what the message means, but DCL to Welbeck, I think, is a nice transfer. Yeah, I would rather probably just about sell Welbeck than... Sorry, I'd rather just about sell Calvert-Lewin than Thiago, I think. Hello, Ross. Bench 2 of Lacroix, Camvo, Welbeck, Rogers, Bruno G, Thiago. Cheers. Thiago and... Honestly, Camvo, because I think he only starts 1. I would bench Thiago and Camvo, I think, out of those options. Truly. I know that sounds crazy. Wildcard team, each player please with the idea to bench next week. I'm not going to build an entire wildcard team because that would take too long and not many people are wildcarding, but I can give you the base of it. I would have Gabriel, Saka, Gyökeres. I'd have Haaland, Cherky, O'Reilly. I'd have Lacroix. I would have Hinshelwood, Verbruggen, and Welbeck. I would have Bruno Fernandes, and I would fill in the spots in and around that. Probably Dewsbury Hall would be in there. I would consider Keane, and then maybe Rodon or something like that. I think that's most of the players. You can rewind it, pause it, re-listen to that, but that's roughly what a wildcard would consist of. Triple Arsenal, triple City, 2 or 3 Brighton, a couple of Everton, maybe 1 or 2. Maybe Thiago and Dango could make their way in as well. A couple of Brentford, and then go from there. Struijk to Van Hecker or Thiago to Welbs? Struijk to Van Hecker slightly, just about. You could make both moves, by the way, but I'd lean Struijk to Van Hecker. I was only making one. Adam, I've got your team. No chips, no transfers. I'm chasing as well. Who to start? I would bench Thiago. You've only listed 4 defenders there, haven't you? Hill, Gabriel. Oh, no, you got 5. Okay. I would bench... Probably Nico Williams, Hill, and Thiago. Or Van Dijk. No, I would bench Nico Williams, Hill, and Thiago. Probably just about Adam. I think the defence is definitely the most difficult thing. I think benching Thiago is the easy decision there, but with the way that your team looks in your attack. I suppose you could bench Watkins if you think he'll be benched, but no, I would bench Thiago and then just... the only 2 I wouldn't bench is obviously Gabriel and O'Reilly. I think in terms of the defence, you could go either way with it. Maybe if you're chasing, you should start Nico Williams because he's just so lowly owned, Adam. Maybe that's the differential play. I just don't think Forest right now are going to be particularly motivated to perform. Khan, okay, 0.3 million in the bank and 4 free transfers and bench boost this week. Out of Thiago, DCL, Rodgers. Would it make sense to get rid of Rodgers and DCL for Welbs and 1 mid? Rest is the same as yours, except Raya and Gross for Verbruggen and Hinshelwood. Feels bad since I had Rodgers for this game week on wildcard. Also, not keen on selling Thiago, especially because of Palace next week. I would keep Rodgers, honestly. I would probably just do DCL to Welbs. Oh, you're not going to be able to afford that, are you? I don't love selling Rodgers, I'll be honest. I really don't like selling Rodgers, but I do like getting Welbeck for DCL, but you're not going to be able to afford that without making another move. The rest of the team's the same as mine. Is there anywhere where you could free up money? You could do Gross to Hinshelwood. Gross to Hinshelwood and DCL to Welbs. I think that money works out, right? That could be an interesting option. But otherwise, yeah, I suppose Rodgers to Hinshelwood. I think it is Rodgers or Gross to Hinshelwood and then DCL to Welbs. I think that makes the most sense. If you don't want to buy Hinshelwood, I think Dewsbury Hall is the other midfielder that you could buy. Thanks, FPL says Thiago to Welbeck, Anderson downgrade, Saka up to Rice. Yes. Yeah, I like that. That's the one. That's the one, thanks, FPL. Yeah. Sonny says FPL draft Cash / Calafiori, Palmer / Stack, Mateta / Larson. I would go probably Calafiori, Stack. Mateta versus Larson's a coin flip. I think they both start 1. I would probably go Strand Larson. I would say Calafiori, Stack, and Strand Larson, probably. Looking at that. Giandre says, wife asked 3 free transfers, 1.4 million in the bank. Palmer, João Pedro, Struijk to Saka, Welbeck, Palace defender. Easy. Can afford any Palace defender without the JP transfer. Can also do JP to Gyökeres, but then it's Struijk to Richards. No, I would go for Saka, Welbeck, Palace defender, and I'd go Lacroix. So yeah, Palmer, JP, Strauch to Saka, Welbeck, Lacroix. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Very nice. No Crystal Palace players. Van Dijk, Rice, and Bowen to Lacroix, Saka, and Welbeck. Or do I bring in more Palace players? Nope, that's perfect as well. Yeah, I like the Saka upgrade. I like Bowen to Welbeck. And I think Van Dijk to Lacroix to fund all of that is pretty nice. I don't think you need to buy Palace defenders at all, by the way. Like, if you're making defender transfers anyway, and if you have the transfers, I really don't mind going and buying Palace defenders. But I don't think you need to go out there and desperately buy them. Hello, Ross from Indonesia. Quick question for you. What is the most memorable game week so far this season? Ooh, good question. I don't know. Most memorable game week. I've not had many good game weeks, to be honest. Let me have a look at my game week history. Where are you from in Indonesia, by the way? To who just asked that? Let me know where you're from in Indonesia. What am I doing? What's my best game week rank? See, look, I've not had this one, whatever that was. 71k, can I beat that? Okay, that's definitely my best. What was this then? I don't even remember that free hit. I kind of do, actually. Yeah, my free hit where I chose Foden, Gakpo, Thiago. Okay, that looks like such an insane team. I'm like, what was I thinking? But it did quite well. I'm from Jakarta. Okay, big love to you in Jakarta. Anyone else from Indonesia in the chat? Let me know where you're from in Indonesia. I do love Indonesia. I play a lot of Geoguessr, and so I have learnt a lot about Indonesia. Finn says, who do you bring in? Same defense as you. Have Richards over Lacroix. Cherky, Hinshelwood, Eze, Fernandez, Stack. Pedro, Thiago, Haaland up top. Bench, Leeds, and Thiago. All chips but wildcard. 0.2 million in the bank. 5 free transfers. Okay, so defense then doesn't need to be touched if it's the same as me, but you've got Richards instead of Lacroix. Cherky, Hinshelwood, Eze, Fernandez, Stack. Pedro, Thiago, Haaland. I think Thiago to Welbeck and triple captain Haaland. Leave it there. And then next week you can bench boost and use all of your transfers to build the best bench boost you can. Yeah, I think Thiago to Welbeck. You probably then end up benching João Pedro or Stack. Bench João Pedro or Stack. Thiago to Welbeck. And then triple captain Haaland. And then next week I would bench boost. Sorry, Ross, it's Igor Jesus, not Thiago, as my forward. I forgot what your message was, Adam, now. I'm going back to your message to see if that changes things. Oh, because you just put Igor. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. I'd still be tempted to bench Igor Jesus, to be fair, Adam. 28 points behind. Palace players for a -4 alternatives. I wouldn't take hits right now. If you take a hit, you're 32 points behind, so no. I'm from Malaysia. Big love to Malaysia. Where in Malaysia are you from? I know a few places in Malaysia. I'm from Jakarta. To be fair, every person I've met that's from Indonesia is from Jakarta. I'm from Bristol. Not quite Jakarta, but that's okay. I haven't taken a hit in 2 weeks. I'm so proud. Fair play, Sim. Doesn't happen very often with you, eh? So use all 3 transfers or keep JP, she asked. I would use all transfers. Yeah, Palmer, JP, Strauch to Saka, Welbeck, Lacroix. Perfect. I would go for it. Attack it. Do just tell her, though, that that's the aggressive move. I'm just suggesting that she goes for it. But if she wants to be a bit safer, she could keep JP and not make the Welbeck move. But I would just have fun. 3 weeks left, you know. Hey, Ross. Raya Dubravka, Gabriel, Hill, O'Reilly, Virgil, Alderete, Bruno, Cherky, Wilson, Anderson, Dango, Haaland, JP, Gyökeres. Bench boost 37 or 38. I like 37 with some of these players. Wilson, great. Dango, great. I think from the only thing that's not going to look great about that team in 37 is Dubravka, right? But everyone else should look pretty good for a bench boost in 37. So I would lean towards going at 37. You could even maybe replace Dubravka if you're desperate not to bench boost with him. Safris, I've got your team, says bench boost. Plan to bench boost, 2 free transfers, 3.5 million. Any changes? Doubts on Tav. Yeah, it's a lovely team. Lovely team. Just do Tavernier to Hinshelwood. You've got Van Hecker. Oh, you got Van Hecker, Welbeck, and Gross. You can't. Okay, Tavernier to Dewsbury Hall then. Tavernier to Dewsbury Hill if you're not feeling good on Tavernier. To be honest though, I'd probably just bench boost with Tavernier. You will receive a super chat likely last deadline stream with my grand total. What, your grand total of hits? I could retire off that, Sim. I could retire off that. Have you been to Cameroon? I have not. I actually haven't been to... So I've been to North Africa. I've been to Egypt. I haven't been to Asia. Haven't been to the Americas. Haven't been to Australasia or Oceania, whatever you want to call it. And I haven't been to most of Africa. Only North Africa. So, yeah. I'm relatively well-travelled in Europe because it's cheaper, easier to fly. But I haven't been many places outside of that. I really do want to travel more. That's my plan for... Like, next year I turn 30, and I'm planning on having a midlife crisis and travelling more. That's the plan. John Dre says, my turn, playing the bench boost this week. Okay, Raya, Wilson, Gabriel, Justin. Great. Have 2 free transfers. Change Justin to Kadioglu or just roll. Justin would be my 15th player. I would be so tempted by Justin to Kadioglu, but I love Kadioglu. So I'm a big Kadioglu fanboy. As soon as you say him, I'm like, yes, absolutely. Need to get you to Cape Town, mate. I'd love to come to Cape Town. Cape Town is on my list for sure. For sure. Does Istanbul count as Asia? Istanbul's in Europe, so no. Oh, wait, doesn't it split across the two? Isn't Istanbul, isn't it the only capital across 2 continents? Is Istanbul... Or is Istanbul fully in Europe? No, it is. Yeah, it's divided, isn't it? It is the only city in the world that spans 2. I thought it was the only capital in the world. Didn't know it was the only city in the world. Here's a fun fact for you, for those that don't know. Turkey is only 3% Europe. 97% of Turkey is in Asia. The more you know. Daniel says, on bench boost, planning Dubravka to Verbruggen, nice. Gordon to Dewsbury Hall, cool. Do I take a -4 to move either in Burmo or Saka? Sorry, either in Burmo to Saka or Dango to Casemiro? Probably not, no. I would just run with it. Yeah, I'd probably just leave it, Daniel. I think you're okay with it. If it was for free, fair. Istanbul isn't the capital of Turkey. Oh, yeah, it's Ankara, isn't it? Ignore me then. Yeah, Ankara. I think I only found that out about 6 months ago. Someone said the capital of Turkey, Ankara. And then I Googled it, and it's like, no one visits Ankara. Ankara Messi. Every time I say Ankara as well, it's like Ankara Messi. Yeah, apparently Ankara just doesn't have anything going on, really. Which is interesting. Let me know if you've been to Ankara or you live in Ankara if that's incorrect and that actually it does have a lot going on. But I have not heard the best things. Apparently it's just a bit meh. Ankara Messi. Let's not get me stimming about Ankara Messi. Okay, thanks FPL. I've got your wildcard team. Okay, this is a wildcard 36. Verbruggen, Darlow, Gabriel, O'Reilly, Lacroix, Heaven, Rodon, Bruno, Hinshelwood, Dewsbury Hall, Cherky, Saka, Welbeck, Calvert-Lewin, Haaland. 0.5 million. Bench boost left. 5 free transfers. Thoughts? Third Arsenal, second Crystal Palace, who to bench? I wouldn't go Aiden Heaven just because Lissandro Martinez is back. And I think Aiden Heaven's first choice now, but he could be rotated. 5 free transfers and bench boost left. Instead of Heaven, I would have Kadioglu. No, you've got triple Brighton. I would maybe just go like Rodon then instead of Heaven. Oh, you've got Rodon. God. There aren't any good cheap defenders left. I can't think of anyone. Okay, maybe just keep Heaven then. Or try and free up a bit more money. Otherwise, that's pretty much perfect, that wildcard team. Yeah, I like it. I like that you've got Saka in there now. I like Bruno. Great defense. I think that's bang on. I just wish you had a bit more money to spend on that Heaven spot. But otherwise, you're good to go. Who to bench? Probably Calvert-Lewin, Rodon, and Heaven. And Darlow. 7 points behind first. I'm 6k first as triple captain. O'Reilly cap. It depends what's most important for you. Is it most important to secure a top 10k or to win your mini league? Because if it's top 10k, I would probably just captain Haaland still and just protect. Like if you captain O'Reilly and Haaland pops off, you could lose your mini league and top 10k like that. So it's up to you. High risk, high reward. It could catapult you into the top 5k. It could make you win your mini league, but it could also do the opposite. So it depends how much risk you want to take, Jordan. I can't make that decision for you. 34k overall, top of my mini leagues. Which City asset to triple captain? I would just triple captain Haaland again for the same reason. Like you're doing well, you're winning your mini leagues, just don't risk it. Finn says, with what you advise, would you play Welbeck with Haaland to bench Pedro, Stack, and Justin, or Haaland by himself? Sorry, I'm confused. Let me just go back to your team. So if I think I said buy Welbeck, right, for Thiago. So you have to bench Stack or Pedro. Is that correct, Finn? Why'd you have to bench Stack and Pedro? I'm confused. Oh, because you're playing a 4 at the back. I see. Right, sorry. I didn't quite grasp that part. Yeah, I still think that's fine. I would still buy Welbeck and bench Pedro, Stack, and Justin. Yes. Jack says, hi Ross, need to bench 2 out of JP, DCL, Ryan, and Hill. Thanks for your help over the season. You are welcome, Jack. Need to bench 2 out of JP, DCL, Ryan, and Hill. I honestly would start Hill, and then I think I'd start JP, Jack. I'll be honest, I feel bad because you've just been really nice, and I find it very difficult to help you here because I think that's almost a coin flip. But if it was me, I'd go JP and Hill, and I'd bench DCL and Ryan. Robbie says, morning, Ross. Is this crazy? Semenyo to Doku, Thiago to Richarlison, Enzo to Saka, 4 free transfers. No. Why Doku, though? Why not Cherky? I prefer Cherky to Doku. If you said Semenyo to Cherky, Thiago to Richarlison, Enzo to Saka, I'd like that. And I'd assume that you're doing this because you're chasing and because you want to buy a Saka. If all of that's true, then yes, I like it. If you're doing it just because you're getting a bit bored of having transfers, maybe less keen. But no, I like it a lot. If you prefer Doku as a player, by all means go Doku. I would prefer Cherky, but I think they're 3 nice transfers. Dennis, good to see you, my friend. I've got your 11. Watkins to Haaland, and then Dango to Cherky, or Chow to O'Reilly. Can you not do all of them? No, because you've got Semenyo. Bench boost 37. I honestly would go Watkins to Haaland and Chow to O'Reilly, I think. Yeah, I think I would go do it that way because I really like Dango for bench boost 37 as well. I think Doku just feels secure in terms of minutes right now. I agree. Doku's not a bad option. I just prefer Ryan Cherky. I'm just going to go wake up FPL Pickle from her slumber. I'll be 10 seconds. I'm back. I hate how much I like my team this week. I've never ever liked my team and done well. It's always the weeks where I'm least impressed by my team I do well, and then vice versa. Hi Ross from Seattle, 0.1 million in the bank, 1 free transfer. Okay, I've got your team. Should I roll and triple captain? You've only got 2 mans. Have you missed Haaland off, or have you just not got Haaland? I wonder if you've missed Haaland off the message. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, you've listed 11 players there. Because you just don't have Haaland. In that case, you've only got 2 Man City. So I would buy a third City asset, at the very least. Even if it's... What could you do there? I don't really know what you could do, to be fair. You could do Soberslide Doku. I would buy a third City 100%. There's no point going in with 2 City players. You've only got O'Reilly and Cherky. Yes, I would triple captain, though, this week 100%. But I would buy a third City. No funds for Haaland. Okay, I would look at Doku or Gay then. Maybe even Van Dijk to Gay. Van Dijk to Gay is a nice transfer if you don't want to buy Doku. Ragelin says, I have bench boost and triple captain. Best bench boost opportunity is 36, but who to triple captain 37 or 38? Or do I triple captain 36? I think triple captain 36 and bench boost 37. This team won't look terrible in 37, right? Will it? Wilson's good. Welbeck's fine. Heaven's okay. Van Hecker's good. The only 2 players that won't look great there in 37 are Dubravka and Watkins, right? So you could make a double move to do something like Watkins to Gyökeres and Dubravka to Darlow. I would probably triple captain 36, bench boost 37, Rage, would be my opinion. Mad Dan says, for a -8, would you do Eze to Cherky and Rodgers to Saka? For a -8, would you do Eze to Cherky and Rodgers to Saka? I would do Eze to Cherky for a hit. But I wouldn't do Rodgers to Saka for the extra one. Hi Ross, I'm Manuel from Portugal, Lisbon. Big love. I went to Lisbon in April. Yeah, I really enjoyed. Portugal was wonderful. And I say the thing that I noticed about Portugal is that people were very kind as well. The food was amazing. Weather was great. I loved it. Anyway, many thanks for the help this year. You've been great. And because of you, I'm top of 3 of my mini leagues. Cheers, mate. I'm continuing on the next super chat. Need some help. Okay, thank you very much for the support. And I'm very glad that you are currently winning your 3 mini leagues. So, the question is, bench boost active and -4 done. For Bruggen, Dubravka, Gabriel O'Reilly, Munoz, Senesi, Anderson, Cherky, Bruno Fernandes, Dewsbury Hall, Saka, Wilson, Gyökeres, Haaland, DCL. Should I do a -8 to bring in Lacroix or Brighton defence? No. That's a great team, though. I think your team looks really good, Manuel. I don't think you need to take a -8, -4. I think I'd leave it. Especially as you're already leading your mini league. You've got a bench boost active. You've already taken a -4 here. I would leave it there. Under half an hour before the deadline, also remember to like and subscribe. You heard the man Shazam. Less than 30 minutes till the deadline. Make sure to drop a like on the stream. Almost 2,000 people watching. If you're one of the people that are watching right now that hasn't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Usually about 20 to 30% of the live streams don't subscribe. So there's a good few hundred of you watching right now that just haven't bothered to hit that subscribe button. It's outrageous, really. Best Arsenal defender outside of Gabriel, Saliba, Raya. Ben White would be my next favourite outside those 3. But it is definitely still Gabriel, Saliba, Raya, probably in that order for me. Triple captain O'Reilly. Yeah, if you fancy the punt, it's a big risk, but as long as you accept the risk. The thing that I will say, I love that someone said, "I'll never subscribe, buddy." You have to subscribe to send a message, so you just baited yourself. The thing I'll say when everyone's like, should I take this risk? As long as you accept the downside, chase the upside. As long as you are willing to accept what could go wrong, think about what could go right. But what I don't like is when people make decisions and they take no notice of what could go wrong. Like they'll triple captain O'Reilly and then come back and say, oh, why did you let me do that? And it's like, you have to have accepted that it could go really badly before you accept that it's the decision that you want to make. And I always do that, right? I know how bad this could go, and I'm still willing to do it anyway. 3 free transfers, Palmer to Saka and Strout to White, or only Saka. I quite like that, to be honest. I'd go for it. Yeah, attack. I'm chasing, but behind by 14 points. Which option is better? Semenyo to Cherki, Tavernier to Szoboszlai, Senesi to Saliba, Tavernier to Casemiro, DCL to Gyökeres, Senesi to Danso. Ooh, some really nice options there. I quite like Gyökeres. Danso's interesting. I don't know if you're chasing a mini league leader or a rank target. If you're chasing a rank target, I quite like Semenyo to Cherki, to Tavernier to Szoboszlai. If you're chasing a mini league leader, which players don't they have? Right? It could be a number of options here. Like if they've already got Saliba, don't buy Saliba. If they've already got Cherki, keep Semenyo. I would say my least favourite is B. B just feels a bit boring. So I would say probably A, then C, then B. But I think A versus C is a coin flip. Why are you not captaining Cherki over O'Reilly? I just think that O'Reilly has multiple routes to points that Cherki doesn't necessarily have. Like if you look at the clean sheet odds, we can even check. Rob T FPL. Man City have a 63% chance of keeping a clean sheet. So immediately that's nice for Ryan Cherki. And then his chance of scoring a goal is 36%, you can see here. And for Cherki, it's 48%. So O'Reilly's got a 36% chance of scoring a goal, a 63% chance of keeping a clean sheet. And then he's got probably like a 20 to 30% chance of getting an assist. So I just think O'Reilly's got loads of ways that he could potentially pick up some good points. Hi Russ, how's things? Just jumped in. Any team news? Who's everyone going for captain? There is a captaincy poll in the live stream chat if you want to vote on it. As of right now, about 80% of people are captaining Erling Haaland, and about half of those are triple captaining. If that is the exact stat, then I would expect Erling Haaland's EO to be about 220 to 230%. Which means if you captain Haaland, but do not triple captain, you are losing 30% of what Haaland does on the field. It's mental in weeks like this. You are literally, if you've captained Haaland, going to be praying that he blanks. Mental. Mental. What a season, eh? What a game we play. What a silly game it is. Adam says, Ross, thanks for all the help this season and good luck from Dublin. I'm captaining O'Reilly with you, LFG. Let's do this. Let's enjoy the pain together. Nah, hopefully it goes well, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. It is just a game at the end of the day, you know? Doesn't massively change any of our lives. Ross, I'm a big fan of both of your pods. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thoughts on taking a punt on Matoma for Wilson? Don't mind Matoma, actually. The thing is, Gomez isn't far away, so I do prefer Hinshelwood to Matoma, but Matoma's upside could be massive. And in fact, I know that Matoma likes playing against Wolves. I know he's got a good record against Wolves. So, yeah. I don't mind Matoma. Just, again, same as what I said, accept the risk that is attached. And then if you're happy to accept the risk, then I actually really like him this week. And big love to you in Brisbane. Red Sox, Kid 99. I've got your team. Should I make a transfer? Bench boost? ? I think that bench probably looks better in... Does it? No, that bench probably doesn't look better in 37, actually, does it? Yeah, I would probably bench boost this week then. I would be tempted by Dango to Hinshelwood and bench boost. Yeah, Dango to Hinshelwood and bench boost would be kind of what I would do. Fun long-term Okafor free transfer. Want Villa, Arsenal, City, Brighton. Or don't want. don't want those or you do want those. Dewsbury Hall or Hinshelwood would be my top 2 Okafor replacements. Hi, Ross. I sat a few rows behind you on Sunday. Oh, big love. You should have said hello. You should have said hello. But yeah, thank you for watching the live streams. I appreciate it. And what a game to attend, by the way. Big fan, Ross. Who to start? Hincapié, Bruno G, or DCL? If I had Bruno G, I'd have to start him, I think. I like Hincapié, though, but I would go Bruno G. Especially as Hincapié could be benched. Yeah, Bruno G, I would start. KJ says, 2 free transfers, 1.9 million in the bank. Bench boost active. Same team apart from Welbeck and Gross instead of Hinshelwood and Thiago. Cherky captain. What would you change or do? I wouldn't. You've got a cracking team. It's basically mine, but slightly better. I would keep the transfers. I would enjoy your bench boost points and hopefully enjoy a big green arrow, my friend. I would hope with that team. Protecting a small lead, Gyökeres or Saliba? I'd go Gyökeres still. Extend it. Let's not talk about Sunday's game. What a game, Shazam. What a game. I bet you loved it. I bet you loved it. Which transfer combination? 1 Semenyo, DCL to Cherky Welbeck. Okay, I like that. 2 Tavernier Pedro to Soboslai Welbeck. 3 Semenyo Tavernier to Cherky Sobo. Semenyo DCL to Cherky Welbeck. I would go option number 1, Doriano. Would be the way that I would lean. You've got 17 minutes until the deadline. Ecstasy says, hello again, mate. Hello, my friend. Do you think Fernandes to Saka is too risky for the remainder of the season if chasing? If you are chasing more than 40 points, go for it. If it's less, I would find another way to get Saka. Because if it's less than 40 points, I think it's still feasible. I think much more than 40, you're going to have to take some huge risks. So maybe that is the risk to take. I also wonder, do you do it next week, though? I guess if you're really chasing, you want to get it done as soon as possible. But I would only do it if you're really, really trying to chase. Why Hinshelwood over Pascal Gross? Much better data, much better goal threat. I bought him last week, obviously. I didn't buy him this week. But even if I was, I would buy Hinshelwood right now. Ross, bench Senesi, Wilson, Bowen, or Tav? Senesi, Wilson, Bowen, or Tav? I would bench Bowen, honestly, from those options. Jared Bowen. Maybe Tav, actually, but probably Jared Bowen. João Pedro to Gyökeres. Yeah, I like that, actually. I'm a fan of that. Mahir says 46k overall rank. Fair play, Mahir. 3.9 million in the bank. Triple captain active. Okay. Semenyo to Cherky, good. Start Hill, Tavernier, Thiago. Could also do Tavernier to Saka for -4 on start. Much love. Help and flex the guns, please. Not flexing my guns on the stream. Can you imagine? No, start Hill, Tavernier, Thiago. No, probably not. I don't think I'd be able to squeeze them in there. Maybe you could start Hill instead of DCL, I suppose, in a 4-5-1. Maybe, yeah. Maybe Hill over DCL is a possibility. Semenyo to Cherky, I like. Could also do Tavernier to Saka for a -4. I would just do that next week, I think, for free. Semenyo to Cherky, keep the bench the same. Tavernier to Saka next week for free, I would lean towards. Your boy just proposed last week. Please flex the guns. I'm not flexing the guns, but congratulations on your proposal. That's amazing news. Top 50k, engaged. What a legend. What a life. Do I start Hill or Dewsbury Hall? It's my only issue. I would lean Dewsbury Hall just about. Who to start? Bowen, Thiago, Cunha, triple captain on O'Reilly. Good luck with the triple captain. I would start Cunha out of those options. If I'm 1 million rank, does Captain Haaland help? At 1 million, I would imagine that you will still gain a little bit. But at that stage, surely you just want to have a bit of fun, right? But yes, I would imagine if you're 1 million rank, because there'll be some managers that aren't really engaging, you might get away with still gaining with Haaland captain. I don't know for a fact, but I would lean that way. Palmer to Saka for a -4 hit. Palmer to Saka for a -4 hit. No, I would do it next week for free and just hope that Palmer finds some form or gets a penalty. Umar says, great content, Ross. Help me. I'm training 42 points, 2 places in my mini league. Same team as you, except Saliba for Gabriel. 0.3 in the bank, 1 free transfer. What to do? Roll the transfer then and attack next week. Next week, you want to buy Gabriel probably. So yeah, next week, attack it. If your team is the same as me but Saliba, then it's a good team, I would say. Bench 1, please. Rogers, Hinshelwood, Eze, Gyökeres. Probably Eberechi Eze from those options. Would you start Thiago, Dewsbury Hall, or Camvo? I'd honestly probably start Dewsbury Hall. Maybe Camvo. Maybe it is Camvo. I just do worry that he's not going to start both games in the double, to be honest. Is Richarlison starting? I would guess so, yeah. I'd guess so. I just need to make sure Pickle's actually awake because I'm not hearing any movement and she needs to lock in her team. 2 seconds. Absolutely fast asleep, the missus. She's going to miss the deadline. Although, to be fair, I don't think she's making any transfers, but, you know. You never know. You don't want to be blamed for anything. 45 minus 4 versus 57. Not only any Bournemouth killed me last game week. Yeah, it was basically, did you own Bournemouth for a lot of people? Or Bukayo Saka. Bench boost versus wife triple cap this week. Hinshelwood hat-trick coming. Yes, the Hinshelwood gang. Hopefully so, mate. Hopefully so. So you've got the bench boost and she's got triple captain. We're going to see which tip's more powerful this week. I would say triple captain does feel good. But bench boost could do well too. I'm very keen for the update next week, Thor. But yeah, if Hinshelwood gets a hat-trick, I might... Right, okay. If Hinshelwood scores a hat-trick, I will buy a Hinshelwood Brighton shirt for Thor. There we go. I've said it. Do you know what? If Hinshelwood scores a brace, I'll buy a Hinshelwood Brighton shirt for Thor and ship it to Norway. Done. Who to start? Awoniyi or Kadioglu? Kadioglu. Gotta be Kadioglu. I love Kadioglu. I think I'm a Brighton fan at this stage. I love so many Brighton players. Love Kadioglu. Love Hinshelwood. Same overall points. Go Nico O'Reilly, cap 2. Let's go. Let's do this. Fingers crossed. I'm sorry if it doesn't work out. Bench Van Hecker or DCL? I would start Van Hecker. 130k overall rank. O'Reilly cap. I have differentials of Welbeck, Sarr, Tavernier. I don't think you need to captain O'Reilly at that stage. Like, it depends. If your aim is to get top 100k, I maybe wouldn't risk it this week. You're not far off, and it could go horribly wrong. If I was 130k, I might captain Haaland, honestly. Wife has just realised she already has 3 Brighton, so can't do JP to Welbeck. Oops. Well, that's fine. JP's a really nice option to keep. 8.4 million in the bank. Keep JP or any other suggestions. Gyökeres, but then it has to be Cambo. I would just leave it for now. You could still get Gyökeres next week by making a double move. I would just keep JP for the week. Tell the wife, JP... I think he could score, to be fair. I could see it. It's not like Liverpool perfect defensively. Thoughts on Pedro, Semenyo and Rice to Welbeck, Cherki and Saka? Pedro, Semenyo and Rice to Welbeck, Cherki and Saka. Yes, I would do it. Yeah, I mean, you're selling a couple of good... You're selling 3 good players, but you're buying 3 better players. So, hi, Ross, do you think Isak starts this week? My gut instinct is no. Like, why risk him? But I don't know. He could absolutely start, but I reckon it will probably be just Gakpo as the 9. JP or DCL, big love. João Pedro? Meant to say start one of Senesi, Wilson, Bowen, Tavernier. Start one. Oh, Senesi. Probably. My main rival brought in Haaland last week and still has triple captain to you. Should I go one of the other options? It depends if you're chasing ahead, how many points, how much you want to differentiate, and then you make a decision based on that. Watkins to Gyökeres. Worried Watkins might get benched again. Honestly, I would be tempted by Watkins to Gyökeres. Thor says, and I'll buy 25 memberships. Okay, that's a deal. That's the deal. Let's see. I honestly, a Hinshelwood goal would just slap. Are you triple captaining this week? No, I was a numpty and triple captain Haaland in and triple captained. What am I trying to say? Gabriel. Pickle tweeted, "The pickle is alive. The pickle is alive and awake and well." She's probably just gone back to sleep now. Any team news? No, but let me have a quick scroll through the socials because I've not actually checked. But no, I haven't seen anything. Apparently, the odds have dropped on Chelsea winning, which is interesting. So I wonder if that means they've benched someone, but I don't know who they would have benched that would make. Maybe it's just the market's not being very confident on Chelsea. You've got under 10 minutes till the deadline, by the way. In fact, just over 7 minutes until the deadline. So make sure you're getting your teams locked in. I need to make sure I've got a screenshot of my team, actually. Which I think I do. Richards or Rogers? I think Richards, probably. I'm using triple captain 40 points behind O'Reilly or Haaland. I think because you've got the triple captain, as long as whoever you're chasing doesn't, or literally you're chasing a ranked target, I still think Haaland captain works then. If you were not using the triple captain, I'd say O'Reilly. But I think, I'll put it this way, just captain who you think will get the most points. If you think that's O'Reilly still, triple captain O'Reilly. But if you think it's Haaland, triple captain Haaland. For a hit, who would you add? A Semenyo to Cherki? Or sorry, would you add a Semenyo to Cherki? No, you said for a hit, who would you add? I haven't seen your team, have I? So I don't know. Semenyo to Cherki's not worth a hit, no. Will of its own with a very generous super chat. Thank you, Will. Says small lead, bench boost active. Raya, Henderson, Justin O'Reilly, Gabriel Munoz, Lacroix, Rogers, Gibbs White, Dewsbury Hall, Cherki, Bruno Fernandes, Thiago Haaland, DCL. Thinking -4, Gibbs White to Saka and Thiago to Osula. Yeah, I love that. Can you afford Welbeck? I think I'd prefer Welbeck. But Osula's playing so well. I think it is worth the -4 to get Saka because I think Gibbs White's a major doubt. You want Saka anyway. I like that. I think it's a great team. I'd be very surprised if you don't get a green arrow with that team, Will. And thank you for the generous super chat as well. You reckon O'Reilly starts both? Rand didn't start the second game before the FA Cup final. Come again? I think he'll start both, yeah. Listen, they've only got a few games left now. No other competitions to worry about. They need to win them every single game. They need to worry about goal difference potentially as well, because you never know what might happen on the final day. Like, I think they just play their best team now. Maybe I'm wrong. If O'Reilly gets benched in one, then I've obviously messed up massively. And then it's season over. But I don't think he'll be benched. Otherwise, I wouldn't captain him. Chasing 18 points, I would just captain Haaland if it's only 18. You could easily catch that up in another way. Like I say, let's say Hinshelwood gets a brace and you own him. That's 15 points just made up like that. If someone else has gross who blanks. Like, 18 points isn't a lot. If you're like 40 like me, then it is a lot. Protecting, start one of DCL, Hill, or Tavernier. If you're protecting, it depends if you've got Senesi. If you're protecting and you've got Senesi already, DCL. If you're protecting and you don't have Senesi, Hill. Because the Bournemouth defence are very highly owned at the moment. Eze or Rice, Thiago or Calvert-Lewin? Eze and Thiago. Start Tavernier, Enzo Fernandez, or DCL? Probably... Enzo could be on pens, depending upon who's on the pitch. So maybe Enzo. DCL is on pens anyway, though. So right, I'd say DCL, then Enzo, then Tavernier. Just under 4 minutes until the deadline. Get your teams locked in. If you've got a chip active, bench boost, triple captain, make sure you've actually activated it. Saliba, Rogers, DCL, and Darlow. Is that bench boost worthy? Yes, I would bench boost that. You also said nice eyes. Thank you. I appreciate that. Very sweet. Hatik says, hello, Russ. Start one of JP, DCL, or Hill. Oh, I would go João Pedro, honestly. What should be the bench order for João Pedro / DCL, Hill, and Biol? All the best for getting the 5-digit rank. Thank you, Hatik. I would go in the order of, I would start JP, then Hill, then DCL, then Biol, in that order. Bernardo Poku, 5089. Says 2 free transfers, 0 in the bank. Pau Palmer for Lacroix Rice, or Pau Semenyo Palmer for Lacroix Rice Cherky, or Pau Semenyo to Lacroix Cherky. I quite like... Can you not just do... No, because you have to sell Semenyo to get Cherky. I would honestly just do Palmer and Pau to Lacroix and Rice. I don't think a -4 for Semenyo to Cherky is worth it. Yeah, Palmer and Pau Torres to Lacroix and Rice for free. DCL or Welbeck? I much prefer Welbeck right now. You've got just over 2 minutes till the deadline. Make sure you get your teams locked in. Thiago or Hill first sub? That's a coin flip. Maybe Hill. Maybe Hill. Tavernier or JP? I'd go JP just about. Very close though. Ryan or Hill? Probably Hill. Probably Hill ahead of Ryan. 2 minutes till the deadline. Start Mukiele or Harry Wilson. Cheers. Oof, probably Harry Wilson still, even though Mukiele's the GOAT. Buy one of Saka or Gyökeres. If it's only one, I prefer Saka, but I think both are great. O'Reilly captain with Gay trying to catch my friends. I mean, listen, if they get 2 clean sheets, you're flying. If they keep no clean sheets, then you're probably in trouble. So it's a big risk, but has the high reward, of course. Pedro or Ryan to start? Probably João Pedro. Probably João Pedro had a Ryan. Does João Pedro start? I mean, I'd guess so. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't. He's been their best player by some distance. I guess they could start the lap and bench him, but I mean, who are they starting instead? I'd be hugely surprised. Start Gabriel Van Hecker. Oh, Gabriel. Sorry, I don't know why I thought about that. Definitely Gabriel, but I like Van Hecker, of course. Just under 1 minute until the deadline. Get your teams locked. Make sure your bench order's sorted. Make sure your vice captain and captaincy are on the right people. Make sure your chips are active. Do not make mistakes at this point in the season. Only 3 game weeks left. First bench, Hill or JP? I would lean João Pedro. I don't know why. I think João Pedro is going to score today. Start Chow or Hill? Thanks. That's actually a difficult one. I would go Hill, though. Bournemouth look locked in at the moment. Start Virgil or Eze? Probably Eberechi Eze. Start double Palace defense and Rogers over Saliba and Eze. I wouldn't bench Saliba or Eze personally. I'd be starting Palace, Rogers, and Saliba and Eze. You can't bench any of those, I don't think. Start Wirtz or Thiago. Coin flip, but I'd probably lean Florian Wirtz. And that is the deadline. Ladies and gents, we are donezo. Right, let me post my team. And then we'll get through to answer some of your questions, you know. Brentford and Palace to score them, probably. Right. Deadline is done, guys. No point trolling now. Too late. Can't do anything about it. One problem with the I'm happy with the team. Captain O'Reilly feeling nervous already. I will be honest, if you've not gone against Haaland captain before in a week like this, then we shall see. Right. Bit of Geoguessr. Yeah, maybe once we get the lineups, I'll maybe do a little bit. Panicked and put Havertz in. Is that very bad? I wouldn't say it's very good, considering we don't expect him to start. Yeah. I mean, see how it goes. He might start against Burnley, I suppose, but I'd expect Gyökeres to start West Ham. Massive help today. What a great guy. Good luck, Russ. I wasn't brave enough to go against Haaland. Early game week 37 thought Saka or Bruno captain. I'm thinking Saka at the moment for captain, and you're welcome. To be honest, I think most people probably should have just captained Haaland, but I just wanted to try something. You know? Loving the content from Christchurch, New Zealand. Keep it up, mate. Big love. Yeah, Christchurch looks like a beautiful place. New Zealand in general, it's difficult to find a part of New Zealand that isn't beautiful, to be fair. Right, what are people saying about my team? Do they love it? Do they love it? Who knows? Did you watch the Toronto versus Cleveland game? 7, boohoo, damn it. I didn't know. To be honest, I haven't watched a single bit of NBA this year, Claudette. It's very sad. I've just been extra busy and it's just struggling to fit it in. And the thing is, like, when I'm not committed to a sport, I struggle. It's the same with F1. Like, unless I'm like really into F1, I just sort of tune out. Speaking of, someone asked, how are you enjoying the F1 this season? Not very much, to be honest. Not very much. Just doesn't feel. I don't know. I'm glad to see Antonelli doing well. That I am. You haven't been to Hamilton then? I've not been to New Zealand or Australia, so no. Hamilton's is that not a very nice area? I didn't realize that there were areas of New Zealand that weren't nice. To be fair, but yeah, I guess there are areas like that everywhere. You and the girl should come visit in Cape Town. We'll love it, and it will be cheap for you. Yeah, definitely one to consider for sure. Got so many places I want to visit in the world, you know. How is Pickle? She's okay, sleeping at the moment. Who do you think will take the pen for Liverpool? Sobo. On my way to Hornchurch to watch Torquay United play our final, come on Yellows. Cats, I don't know why I've never moderated you, but you are now a moderator. Makes it easier to see your messages as well. I don't know why I've never done that before. But there we go. Have a wonderful time. Very, very dedicated fan, aren't you? Do you watch every single... I feel like you're there a lot if you don't watch every single game. Playoff finals. Well, I hope they win. I really do. Not enough balls and originality in the game nowadays. Never change my go. Well, this is the reason I'm not ranked very highly, but okay. I'll carry on. We'll see. Who do you want for Man United in the window? Who do I want? I want Elliot Anderson, but that's not going to happen. So who do I want after that? I think Mateus Fernandes would be a great signing, especially if West Ham go down and be a lot cheaper. I think we need a new left back, really. I don't know, like, there are some, like, Baleba could be good, but he's also dropped several stinkers this year. Tchouaméni would be great, but he's just had a fight with Valverde. Like, do we want players that are confrontational? Not particularly right now. I think, realistically, we sign 3 midfielders, and I think Tchouaméni, Baleba, and Mateus Fernandes would be about what I'd expect. Thank you. I have no idea what a moderator does. You don't have to do anything, to be fair. You can remove people's messages. You can put people in timeouts. You can report people's messages. Stuff like that. If you just click on a message, you'll be able to see it. But it's just so I can see your message easier is the main reason, to be honest. I would love to be a moderator. Silence the trolls. Done. There you go. You're a moderator. Enjoy. I don't get why you put Haaland higher on captaincy ranking, but you chose O'Reilly. You did the same the other week with Palmer. It's pretty simple. I think Haaland's a better captain, but he's also a higher owned captain, so I'm captaining O'Reilly. I need to be differential. Me being differential doesn't mean that I think O'Reilly's better. It just means that I think he's the second best option, and I want to go for that for a reason. Should be going for Tonali. I think Tonali will be stupidly expensive. Do you see how much they charged for Isak? If we can get Tonali for sub 70 million, great. But I just don't know that we can. That's some wishful thinking. I don't think so. Baleba is not what he was a couple of years ago. Mateus Fernandes is going probably down, so he'll be in a relegated team, so he'll be cheap. And Tchouaméni looks like they want to get rid of one of Valverde or Tchouaméni, so I don't think that's an unreasonable set. I think an unreasonable 3 would be like Elliot Anderson, Tonali, and Wharton or something like that. That would be unreasonable. Bruno G's... Yeah, I love Bruno G, but I don't think they'll sell Bruno G. I think they'll sell Tonali, but I just don't know that we'll be able to afford Tonali for the price. Like, we shouldn't be paying silly money for Tonali. But I think one of Bruno G or Tonali would be incredible, of course. Would you take Rashford back? If his attitude was in the right place and his mindset was in the right place, yes. He'd suit our system fantastically. He's great off the bench, but I wouldn't take him back if he expects to start. There's no reason why we'd start him. He's not better than Mbeumo. He's not better than Cunha. He's not better than Sesko. Him and Ahmad, if him and Ahmad are happy to sit on the bench and rotate in, we've got a long season, right? We're going to be competing in multiple competitions. He'll get the minutes, but if he's going to start throwing a fit every time he's on the bench, then I wouldn't want Rashford, no. So I think he'd need to sit down, assuming it's Carrick, with Carrick and have that chat. And hopefully Carrick will be honest with him. You're not starting every game. And then we'll see. If it's not Carrick and it's Iraola, then same again. You know. Don't get me wrong, I definitely think you can pull off 2 of those transfers, but I struggle to see a scenario where you get 3 or 4 perfect signings. I think, yeah, maybe it's one of Tchouaméni or Baleba plus Mateus Fernandes. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's one of those 2 sort of, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, breaker up of play. Like a heavy hitting midfielder. Because Mateus Fernandes isn't really that, is he? He's a little bit more technical, can play more like a number 8. I do think we need one of Tchouaméni or Baleba. Or someone of that ilk. Doesn't have to be those 2. Could be Garner. Oh, yeah, I'd love James Garner. Bloody hell. I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't think James Garner would want to come back to us. Or at least yet. I think he's doing well at Everton. I think for his career, it would make sense to just stay at Everton for another season. Did you argue with Pickle over captaincy? No. I did say it would be nice if we captained the same player. We always captain different players, and we're always, as a result, not wanting the same thing. But we'll panic towards the end of the window and loan someone in. I don't think so. I think it'll be different this year. Elliot Anderson. I like Elliot Anderson, but he's joining Man City, isn't he? So there's no point discussing that. What about Alex Scott? I like Alex Scott, but not really what we need, I would say. And also, I think he'll be very expensive. I think with Kobbie Mainoo playing as well as he is, we need someone that complements Kobbie Mainoo. We need Casemiro, V2. V2 of Casemiro. It's why I like Tchouaméni. I think Tchouaméni's got a lot of characteristics that are similar. He's probably got more legs, of course, which is nice. And Tchouaméni can play centre-back, which is nice as well. I don't think you realistically want to sign him and play him centre-back, but it's nice that he has that versatility. So, yeah, we'll see. Tonali similar. Maybe, but I think Tonali is extremely physical. He's also a lot quicker than people think. Do you think Munoz would go to United? Not now. If we were playing the back five, yeah, but Munoz isn't a right back. He's not. He's a right wing back. He suits the five at the back system. I would even argue he's more of a right mid than he is a right back. So, Camavinga? I think Camavinga's just not as good as Tchouaméni. And also, I don't think his profile is quite right. Don't get me wrong, if you said Camavinga signing for Man United, I'd be very excited. But I think Tchouaméni's better. I think he suits what we need more. I'll be honest, the only time I watch Real Madrid truly is highlights or Champions League. So I can't sit here and say that I've watched 35 plus games of Real Madrid this season. But I mean, if you're a Real Madrid fan in the comment, let me know. Difference between Camavinga and Tchouaméni. But I think Tchouaméni's what I would like. Mark Casado from Barca. Yeah, wouldn't be a bad signing. I'd like Wharton, Edison, Baleba. Those are three good signings, yeah. Wharton. I don't mind Wharton. Wharton just reminds me of a left-footed Kobbie Mainoo. Like, Wharton is very similar to Kobbie Mainoo for me. Do you know what I mean? He's like a hybrid 6'8" ball carrier, great with the ball at his feet. Can break up play well, but he's just not quite... I don't think Wharton's quite the profile we need. Unless we want to create competition for Mainoo. But I think it would be Wharton versus Mainoo plus another midfielder. But the thing is, we do need competition and rotation. Like, we're going to be playing in the Champions League. Hopefully, we'll go a bit further in the two domestic cups. We've got the Champions League. We could end up playing like an extra 20 plus games this season. Sorry, next season than we did this season. Camavinga can also play left back, which is a problem position. Yeah, but you don't want to sign Camavinga and play him left back, preferably, you know. Camavinga's passing is not good enough for the Prem. Okay. Do you hate Ugarte? I don't hate Ugarte, but he's not good. He's really not good enough. I would sell him in a heartbeat. I've not seen Ugarte have a good game, really. Wharton in style of play is much closer to Rodri. Not sure he'd fit the system, but his ability to break lines and play one-touch forward passes is unlike anything I've seen. But again, I think that's what Kobbie does well, is breaking the lines. To be fair, Kobbie Mainoo's passing is not his weakest characteristic, probably shooting is. Kobbie could definitely improve his passing range. I would say his 5 to 10 yard passing is excellent, but his 20 yard passing could be improved. Do you trim your own beard? I do trim my own beard, yeah. That's why it's not very good, to be honest. Get ready to look at the lineups. You all right? Have a nice sleep. I'm a fan. Tchouaméni is better suited for that Casemiro role. Camavinga is more like a Mainoo profile. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, nice team. Yeah, everyone starts. João Pedro, Palmer, Enzo all start. Okay. Isak's on the bench. Otherwise... Where's Verts? Is Verts not in the 11? In the squad, sorry. Yeah, there's no Verts in the squad. Right? Soberslide starts. Isak on the bench. Verts not in the squad. Yeah, I know they said he was ill, but he trained. He trained on Thursday, Friday. Interesting. Prime Tchouameni at Ajax played as an 8, not a 6. But that's perfect, right? You can play 6 centre-back as an 8. You could argue that his best position is as an 8. Like, this is all good to me. Like, I think Tchouameni is the perfect profile. I just want to make sure that he's not going to cause issues in the team. Like, I don't know what happened between him and Valverde, but, like, you don't want someone that joins with that kind of thing, you know? Do you know what we haven't done as well? We haven't done our club team. I actually don't. I need to make sure that that's locked in. Let me quickly do that first. Is that right? That's going to be wrong now, isn't it? I'll bring that across for a sec. Yeah, I need to lock in the old club team. Big week actually in club. My team looks quite nice, to be honest. Let's put that there. Are you going to work? There we go. Right. This is my club team for this week. And very importantly, have we mentioned it since? I think we have. People keep asking me if I'm going to be playing World Cup Fantasy. I'm only going to be playing one World Cup Fantasy game, which is actually club. So once the Premier League season ends, club will transition to a World Cup Fantasy game, which they've called World Club. So if you're not playing club right now, I highly recommend, it's completely free, downloading with the link down below. Join club, play for the next couple of weeks to get into it and understand how it works. And then get ready for the World Cup game. And again, I'm going to be playing the World Cup Fantasy game. It'd be nice to compete against you guys. I've seen bits and pieces and it looks absolutely fantastic. But for now, we obviously have to finish off the Prem. Make sure to download though. This is my team. Front three looks good, although I'm a bit worried about Ollie Watkins. Let's meet with Manny. And all you have to do is just let me know what player you think Manny will be able to get us, basically. So this is our agent. You can get any player in the Prem. Just guess any single player. So Sim said Patrick Dorgu. Is club better than Footium? Well, Footium is made up players and made up teams, isn't it? So I would say yes, because it's real life. Footium's just made up everything, right? It depends what you're after, I suppose. If you want like a fake world, or if you want to just do like proper Premier League fantasy. But this is I did enjoy club when I started, but ran out of money to keep my players. You shouldn't have done. You should be able to. Like most 95% of people that I know play for free and have managed to do so. You might just have to sacrifice here and there. I don't like real life. Well, if you don't like real life, then right. I am going to guess we're going to get Wharton. Speak of the devil. Could be. Aston Villa midfielder. John McGinn. Emi Buendia. It's been fantastic recently, to be fair. Will Emi Buendia start against Burnley? I'm just going to reject him anyway. I'm quite happy with my midfield. I think it looks good. But yeah, there is a link down below if you want to give Club a cheeky download. I recommend it. What am I doing now? I'm going to do that. Do that. Do that. And then I'm going to do that. I'll just play a bit of Geoguessr for a sec. I'm not going to play too much, but you guessed it. I feel like you guessed after, didn't you? Or did you guess after? Did you guess before? If you guessed before, fair play. I'm just going to do a bit of moving gameplay, I think. I don't think we're going to do anything too competitive. But if you just want to chill and watch me, then by all means. Ask any questions as well. There's no pressure on anyone here. I'll put some of the tunes on, actually. Yeah, Ghana. Where are we in Ghana? That's a good question. Do you know what? I think I'll do. I'm gonna do a pinpointable world, actually. Make it a bit easier, a bit more fun. What is this? Why am I working out right now? Fine. I guess. Gotta find a gym in Southampton. I don't really want to be in the gym. Get me out of the gym. Can I go? Can I leave? No, no, I'm in the changing rooms. What is this? I don't want to be here anymore. Where's the exit to this gym? It's not very clear. This is not clearly signposted. Oh, here it is. Oh. Oh my god. I just want to leave the gym. Get me out the gym. Yeah. No, right. Do you know what? We're restarting. I don't want to be in the gym in Southampton. That's not a very fun. Okay, here we go. So this map is called a pinpointable world. So technically, you should be able to pinpoint Yellowstone. Is that up here somewhere? Have I made that up? No, Yellowstone's down here somewhere, isn't it? Is it Idaho? Yeah, Yellowstone National Park. Okay. Okay, it's actually in Wyoming. Cool. Good to know for the future. We're at a massive intersection near Yellowstone National Park. But what roads do we have? Canyon Street. Yellowstone Avenue, Canyon Street, Yellowstone Historic. We're actually in Yellowstone here. Okay. Probably somewhere around here. You know exactly where that is. Someone just said, fair play. I don't. I'll get to this sign. This will help. Probably. Maybe not. Bozeman, Idaho Falls. Okay. Doesn't help. Surely we're just at an intersection around here, but they didn't really match up. What is your name on here? It is Georaptor, I think. Why do I not know where I am? Where is this intersection? Is it this? No, it's not that. We're at a big intersection near Yellowstone National Park. But I don't see where that is. Because this road doesn't line up. Oh, here we go. This was the sign that was helpful. 2198 and the 1287. Oh, maybe we are then. I'm baffled right now. It doesn't line up. You're lying to me. But that should be where we're at. We've got the 3 roads there. The 20 also goes up here, though, right? I'm so confused why this doesn't... It's what, east? What on earth? This should be so easy to just pinpoint, but I'm... We have to just be here, right? Yellowstone Avenue. But that's not the right name for the road. Baffled. Absolutely baffled. Party game? I can't really be bothered, to be honest. I know that's really bad to say, but I just don't really want to, like... I'm just enjoying... Okay, it's actually over here we are then, right? But I still don't see the angle that we're looking for. No idea. How can you get your road so that you can line it up? You double tap N. So you double tap N and it just... But this is what I'm... Oh, my chat just froze. This is what I'm saying. It's just a north-south. It's just a massive north-south, east-west junction. Like, the junction on the map must look like this. Is it West Yellowstone? Oh, is that where we are? Yeah, that is where we are. Okay, it's that. There you go. That's what the junction looks like. Let me just return. Okay. Makes sense, but... Okay, yeah, whatever. Did it say that on here? It just says Yellowstone. Canyon Street. And, I don't think that's the one, though, is it? No, because Yellowstone Avenue. We're there. That was genuinely one of the more painful things that I've ever had to do. Where in Italy is this? Is this Rome? Is it Rome? No, I knew it was going to put me there. I don't know if that is Rome, to be fair. Oh, here we go. Vaticano, okay. Cool. So we are in Rome, and we had, if I return to the start, we're on the bridge right here. So I can just line up this bridge. So the bridge is at that angle. That bridge. That bridge looks good. Bends up that way. We just there. There you go. Okay, that one was much better. Jeez. I would say, like, in terms of moving, I've not been very good across the years, but if you have a bridge, bridges are really helpful. Because was that the Colosseum we just saw? I don't think so. We might have seen it in the distance, but the Colosseum's over there. No, that building in front of was this one here. But yeah, if you find a bridge, because you just then need to find the river and then just line up the bridge from where you are. Okay, looking for the road then. The 844. I feel like these roads aren't very helpful in Poland, the yellow roads. Don't some of them repeat in Poland? With that ending, I think it should be down here. 844. Maybe I look for a bigger sign first, just in case. We do have another little sign there. Lublin's like down there. Okay. Lublin and what's the other place? Dorohusk. Dorohusk. Lublin. Don't see this place either right now. Probably on my screen somewhere. The 8-4. Oh, I've lost my cursor. Okay, we're back. I can have a look for the... Is there anything else we've got here first? That was nice. No, nothing there is useful. Let me just go down here a little bit, make sure we don't have anything else useful. We do have a bridge over a train track, which could be useful. I'll remind myself of that angle. Okay. Best plan of action here is to just not enjoy Poland. Poland is one of my least favourite countries to get on Geoguessr. Do I just have to sit here all day and scan for the 844? God knows. $854? Oh, it's a shame you can't zoom out more. 842? Okay, so we are near Lublin then. $843? 846? 843? 844, okay. Right, so where was the place? Oh, there. So the 844, southwest to there. So we need a roundabout. Coming onto the 844. Could be anywhere around here, to be fair. Right, now what do we need? Now we need the actual name of the place. Somewhere. I could just try and line it up, I guess, is probably our best shout. So west, southwest, it kind of goes. I just need a roundabout that looks good. This game is mesmerizing, keeping me entertained on this long journey. It's the nerdiest game in the world, but there are loads of different modes. I'm not very good at moving. This is moving mode. Maybe we are in Chelm. I could see it, for sure. What's on this roundabout? Kamena Hotel? Hotel Kozak. That's not right. There's a KFC. Okay, we need a roundabout. Guys, lock in. We need a roundabout with a KFC. Oh! That's right. Guys, lock in. Hotel Kamena. We found the roundabout with the KFC. We're on... we're here, right? Is that right? Return. The KFC's to our... Hotel Kamena is to our south. Okay, so we're actually here. Okay, we found it. I tell you what, having a KFC on a roundabout has helped us out massively there. 5k in Poland, we'll take it. That was fine. Poland can be really... Oh. Poland can be really tricky, to be honest. So I will always take that. We're in Colombia. Oh, Colombia's a horror one for me to get. Does it say on that taxi? I'm really, really bad at Colombia. Okay, we just need to get to like a main road. I'll go west at first. Taxis can be useful, but I don't really know them very well is the issue. San Jorge? Is that where we are? It probably is. The lack of signage in these places is painful. Yeah, let's try and find a taxi. It is probably our best shout. That's just a yellow car. Right, return to start. I might go the... These are taxis, aren't they? But I just can't get close to them. We'll go to the east then, this way. Okay, Palmyra. Right? Yeah, Palmyra. Okay, so I just need to find Palmyra. Which is probably in the center of the country. Palmyra. Palmyra. Don't know why I said in Italian, but we're in Palmyra. Oh, God, wish me luck. I need a road name. I need a road name. Gimme. No, give me a road. Give me a... Guys, we're not doing road names around here in these ends. Oh, God, I can't see. Kera 29? I feel like that's just messed up, though. Oh, my God, these signs are really... Calais 20-something, Carrera 20-something. I think we're around here. But I need, like, none of the... Let me actually go this way just a little bit and see if one of these roads... I just need a road number and then I'm sorted. Okay, here we go. Calais 29, Carrera 26. 26. And then Calais 29 is here. Right? Is that what it said? Calais 29, Carrera 26. So we have one... That's the road we're on. And we're heading east. Right? How many roads do we go past? $29, $25. Where were we, though? Oh my God, this is genuinely painful. 26, 29. So we are here, right? I think. Do we have any, like, Éxito? Should be to our southwest. It's not, though. No, we were going east, Éxito. We are basic... There, I think. Okay. Honestly, this game's called Geoguessr. Basically, you're put in a random part of the world and you have to work out where you are. We're playing it on a... I'm playing moving at the moment. There are various modes. You have modes where... I'll show you in a second after we've hopefully finished this off. Why are we getting a Cyrillic-speaking country? It's not what I need right now. Or is it? Yeah, it is. Useless. Why is no... This is supposed to be easy, you know? Should be an easy game. Funnily enough, I actually don't speak Cyrillic, so that's nice. Is the map part of the game, or do you use Google Maps? Yeah, it's sort of like a, yeah, you just like bring it up as a pop-up, basically. Does this not have any information on it? I feel like we should have a... Oh, here we go. We've got a roundabout. Is that Turkey? No, not Turkey. I think it's just North Mass, but I don't know where... hello. I don't know where we are. Does it not say anywhere? I don't speak the language. I need to just get to like a main road with a big sign. Okay, here we go. This looks more promising. And then we can work out where we are from that. But without the main road. Without a sign. Got no chance. Oh. Where are the signs in this country to tell you where you are? I've never seen a country lack signs so much in my life. Okay. I'm at a loss. Maybe this sign here might help. Nope. What was this building? Was this building a notable building? I mean, maybe we are just in the capital. That does fit, doesn't it? This is the only thing... When you don't speak the language, your only possibility is to just match up the... that does fit. Yeah, the end looks a little bit different, but okay. Then we're on a big intersection. A big... It's just a big east. It's like directly north, south, east, west. It's like a proper... I'm trying to see if I can find an intersection that lines up. Just don't... That's just not quite north, south, east, west. What happens to this road? It just ends. Yeah, that doesn't fit right then. Maybe we're not directly in Bitola? God, I don't see any roads that work. Do I care that much? Not really. Do I want to sit here for ages trying to work out where I am? Not really. And there's a big roundabout off the back of it. To our north. An east-west, north-south intersection with a roundabout just north. This should be findable, but it's just not. My brain's not braining. Think I'm gonna give up because I don't care that much. I feel like I might be getting baited by the Bitola as well. South Mountain. I mean, it does fit still, but... Deadline has passed, what the hell? Yeah, 11 AM. 11 AM. I don't know. We're somewhere around the city centre, I guess. There's a 4999. It was this. It looked much more north-south in my mind. I also didn't quite see this. That's annoying. Oh, we had a river. We had a bridge? This is a bridge? What? Where's the... I do not see that river at all. I don't know what they're waffling on about. Okay, we got a 24,99999. Should we try the complete opposite? I wonder if my script's going to work for... I couldn't see a river anywhere there. Maybe I'm just going blind. Is it working? Okay, yeah, it is fine. Cool. Is that there or was it... Was that Cambodia or was that Brazil? I don't know. Oh, it's Hawaii. Okay. Sure. This is a fun mode. We're going completely different here. This is called 0.1 second Geoguessr if you've not seen it before, but you only get the round for 0.1 seconds. I think that's Scotland. Ah, it was Faroe Islands. Okay, makes sense. I didn't see that at all. Okay, yeah, I wasn't looking. Oh, God. Okay, that looked like Asia. Thailand? No, it was. Okay. Right, we're going to lock in. Are we ready? Okay, right, we're going to lock in. Geoguessr on an FPL deadline stream. Game's gone, Ross. I've done it for pretty much every game deadline stream this season. People just love to complain. Okay, so here's the thing. My first idea was actually Greece, right? But there was only one centre line, and Greece do love a double white centre line, but it looked so much like Greece. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Spain, Italy, or Greece. That was Bulgaria. Ah, okay. Do you know what? I said it looks like Greece, but it didn't have Greek road lines, which makes sense why it's just peeking into Bulgaria then. What was that? Guatemala? Raptor, you're a real one. You always stay past deadline. I just love streaming, man. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, let's lock in. Honestly, I've no idea. I don't know, it felt like it was Asia or South America. I was, what? Okay. Yeah, obvious in hindsight. Okay, we've got that one. Oh, what? Okay, yeah, fair. I thought I saw yellow plate. Okay. I thought it was the UK. It was Ireland. I don't know. Just like a middle plonk check. Yeah, something like that. France. Yeah, sure. Most of those were okay. Other than the France Colombia mix up. Is that Kazakhstan or is that Mongolia? Or was that Senegal? I don't know. It was Kazakhstan. Okay, it looked like Kazakhstan, to be fair. Got the wrong side of Kazakhstan, mind you, which means we got a terrible score, but that looked like France. That was Bulgaria. That looked so much like France. That looked like... Is it just Bulgaria Geoguessr? Why is every round Bulgaria? Did that look like a Dutch flag? Or was that a Luxembourg flag? It wouldn't be Dutch, it was so hilly. Was that a Luxembourg flag? It was. I thought I saw a flag pop up, but I couldn't quite see what the flag was. Should we just guess Bulgaria every round, and apparently that's enough to do well in Geoguessr? Just guess Bulgaria every time. I didn't see that. Austria. Finland, okay. Yeah, it looked European, but okay. That didn't show up. We need to refresh that. That didn't show up for a proper amount of time. I'll start it again. Don't know. Like southern Poland, Germany, Czechia. Hungary, was that in, or Slovakia? Oh, and Hungary right on the border. Israel looks a little bit like. Okay, decent guess. I don't know how I got that off the back of it. It just flashed up for like half a second. But my main Millie League rival had triple. Oh, my camera just died. That's a sign. You can get the end of this round and then call it there. Spain, Turkey. Spain or Turkey, I think. Turkey. Yeah, it was a 50-50. That looks like Brazil. No, that was... Wow. That is an insane Thailand. Double yellow centre line in Thailand is so rare. Tunisia, was that? I don't know. Like Tunisia. What's Tunisia? Fair play. Right. There we go. I can't even say a proper goodbye because my camera's died, but I love you all very much. Thank you for being here. You're a real one if you stay till the end. And yeah, I will catch you soon. Hopefully, Nico O'Reilly, Monster Halls. Bye, guys.